was saying for you on the dance floor, and everyone starts going, fuck off.
Oh.
Right, I'm telling you, like we played a lot of crowds before. This crowd turned, bro.
Let's go.
Look at this one.
Salud.
God
Yes,
damn.
right, a special one.
This is a fucking special one, man. God damn it.
Yes, sir.
So, for those of you guys listening, watching on the YouTube, you guys can probably notice a big red cap. Big Red Cap, thank you so much for fucking coming on here, bro. You made the freaking journey from Newcastle, I believe.
Yeah,
Yep.
Maitland.
Yep. And we fucking appreciate it. But not just that, too. You are also performing tonight.
I am.
As well. So everything has kind of fallen into fucking place. But before we talk into the logistics, bro, let's let the people know what's the origins, man. Where are you from? Because there's an English accent.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
where are you from? What's happening? How long have you been here, bro? Just give us
right.
the OG stories, bro.
All right. Well, I'm from Brighton in the UK, so the south coast. We've got Pebble Beach down there. I lived there most of my life, and then I met my now wife there, and her visa was running out or whatever, so we've been together like 6 months, 12 months, and then we hadn't been together long enough for me to just move straight over here. So we lived in Amsterdam for a couple of years because she could get a visa there. We lived there. And then I was ready. I was like, oh, we've been together for a long time. So then I moved over here, and then here I am. Here I am forever.
Man.
Yes.
God damn. So why here though? What was it?
She's Australian.
Oh, so wow. So did you met her here?
I met her in England. She was just traveling in England.
Oh.
Whereabouts in England?
Brighton.
Well, Brighton, sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Catch up, motherfuckers.
I thought you were like, maybe roaming around doing some tours or shows or whatever, and maybe you've seen her in different places.
Truth be told, her mum's not going to watch this, but I sold her some weed. That's what it was. And then, wow. Yeah.
And you've been together ever since?
Yeah, ever since.
Must have been some good bud.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Wow, that is fucking awesome, man. Okay, so now let's talk about the music, right?
Yeah.
The music, you obviously started in the UK.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay, so this is one question I've been thinking about for fucking ages. So, we if you guys don't know, right, we performed and then at Knox Bar, which Big Red Cap's performing there tonight, and Big Red Cap was also on the same lineup. And what I thought was so fucking cool was when we pulled up, right, we were walking to a bar to look for some drinks, right? I seen this fucking dude, right, and he's fucking wearing a red beanie, right? I didn't. 2 and 2 don't go together. So I'm talking to this fucking dude, and then he's like, yeah, man, I'm going Knox Bar. I'm like, oh, shit, so am I. I'm like, what are you doing there? He goes, yeah, bro, I'm here for Big Red Cap. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, this motherfucker's actually got fucking fans. I'm like, holy fuck. So how long were you doing music in the UK before you come to here? Has it been a fucking forever thing?
Yeah. It's been like, I started making music when I was like 16, 17, and then...
How old are you now?
38.
Yeah, nice.
38, like 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday. His
Thank you very
birthday
much.
too.
Man, that's
Getting very old.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. I said happy birthday. I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did, bro. Thank you.
But I mean, I didn't take it seriously. No one does. I think when you first get into it, it's all a bit of a joke and that, you know? And then I remember recording some songs at my friend's house, just like real shitty as well. Like we had a video camera and the mic was pretty good. Like if you got near the camera, it was like this, like it would condense everything around.
Yeah.
So I was like, this mic's pretty good for a fucking video camera.
Yeah, fucking oath.
And so we just kind of have that set up. We recorded some songs and then I ended up playing them to some people at school and they were like, is that you? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, it's pretty good. It wasn't good. Like in retrospect, it was so fucking bad.
Yeah.
But
For your age?
it just kind of made me go, yeah, this is cool. Like I reckon I could do it properly.
Yeah.
And then then I just kept making music all of the time. And then, we had like a little crew.
Yeah.
Did lots of shows. And then when I went to Amsterdam, I had some friends that lived out there already. So they had like a seed company and they all this stuff. So I was able to get sponsored and do like a bunch of shows like straight away. So it was cool to try and integrate there. And then when I moved here, I had to start all again. It was like...
Start from scratch.
I was like on the very first opening act for like a Skis Loren show, I think, at the Agen Court Hotel, 12 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
And then slowly you meet people and you move up and you make songs. And then,
because all your fans from the UK, like, as much as they love you, not many people are fucking traveling all the way to Australia to go see you. So you kind of got to start your fan base. Like, you have your fan base on Spotify, online, or whatever. but like to keep the streams up. But in terms of the live shows, you had to kind of start from scratch, which is probably a good challenge for yourself.
I moved over here like 12 years ago, so there was no Spotify, I don't think, 12 years ago. There was like, I was
what was
putting
it
out
back
mixtapes on Dat Piff.
Yeah, that
That
piff.
yeah. So I
Wow.
did all these jacked beats mixtapes on there, and that's what I was getting around on, and I was just doing loads of tunes with all these Aussie people out here.
Yeah.
And that's how it went. And then eventually I was like, all right, fuck the mixtapes.
Yeah.
I can't keep jacking beats forever. Like
Yeah.
I'm never gonna I've got all these banging tunes that I can't even release properly, you know. And so I either remade a few of the tunes on there that I thought were extra good, or just started making brand new tunes. Yeah.
And well, you just dropped your album too.
Did.
Yeah, fucking man.
Fucking
Congrats, man.
To be honest, bro, the way I met you or heard about you the first time was through Megalodon. Again, it's all about the network.
Mega's
right?
the key, man.
We were doing the track City to City, the cypher, and I was just getting all the hardest local dudes. And Mega goes,
Bro.
BigRedCap wants to jump on it. I never heard of you.
Yeah.
And then I listened to the verse you sent on the cypher, and I was like, who the fuck is
Bro,
this guy?
it's incredibly hard.
Bro, that shit was
I was fucking
crazy.
I was sitting right here behind camera frame, right? And then I remember I was getting close to finish, right? I'm getting over the song by now. And then Mega goes, bro, got one more guy. Like, send it. Hectic. Listen to the verse, and I went, what the fuck? I'm like, holy fucking shit. I was like, bro, what the fuck? And then instantly followed you. Fuck, I'm pretty sure I sent you a message. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
And
No, I appreciate it.
And looking at you now, it doesn't seem like that was your voice rapping. Like you changed, your voice is like, you have a twang to your delivery where it's so unique that it stands out. Like you have to have something unique. Because nowadays, whether it's American rappers or some Aussie rappers, a lot of them, like DZ has said in the past, they sound the same.
Yeah, everyone sounds the same.
Their tempo's the same. They don't
Yeah.
change their sound. Just the way they project their voice. You know what I mean? So I feel like when you get on the mic, you can tell it's BigRedCap on the mic.
Man,
You know what I mean?
it was crazy. I was like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. I was like, Mega, good job,
yeah.
man, getting this
And
motherfucker
then
on this shit.
when I met you at the Knox Bar show, you were the nicest dude, man. And we were chopping it up for a while.
thank
And
you
I
very
was like,
much.
man, this guy is fucking awesome. So I was keen for this one, man.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, we have a song coming out next week.
We
you
do.
and I. Yeah.
We do.
With M16 on the beat.
Yes, sir.
It was M16 sent me this like grimy type beat. And I was like, grime. I was like, come on, who better? than,
Yeah.
You know?
Who better?
So
Boys,
it's out,
fucking
so-
cheers, man. This is
Thank
fucking
you.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You can
No, it's cool.
pre-save that now. Who's Raw? That's dropping next Friday on the 1st. So pre-save it now.
So, also, I've got another question as well. Before we get a bit deeper into the current logistics of where you're at with your music,
Yeah.
When you were a kid, right? Obviously, growing up in England, were you the kid in school banging on pens on the table?
No,
were
do
you
you know
musical
what?
or
you know
no?
what's funny? No, I have always been musical, yeah. But you know when you see that, you watch the prison shows and they're like,
And some guys start
oh
rapping.
my God, I'm a man. Like, yeah, right? Whenever I start rapping, I can't
Keep the beat.
keep the thing going with my hands.
yeah, right.
I can't do it. And like
Yeah.
it's like when people sing with a guitar,
With
like,
the
I can
guitar.
play a few things on guitar, but as soon as I start singing,
Yeah, right.
I start like trying to follow the melody of my voice. Like,
Yeah.
it's really crazy. I imagine you could train yourself to do it, but I've never really had to be like, well, I'm in prison for 8 years.
Yeah,
I may as well
yeah.
figure this out, you
Fucking
know?
oath, yeah.
But like my dad used to play the guitar,
Yes.
and like my mum would play the bass. My sister is a really good singer. Like, so there was always
Oh,
lots
shit's
of
a full musical family.
Yeah,
Wow.
everyone was always really into music and that. And originally, I love films. That's what I'm into. Like, I love movies, making movies, the idea. I always watch. You know, I'm one of them guys that watches the making ofs of everything, and like, you know, I love the commentaries and shit. Like,
Or the breakdowns and shit like that? Or
breakdowns, everything.
Yeah.
I remember, like, when I was a kid, I roped all my friends into making all these films. So we would make, there's loads of these films that I made. And then when I started making music, I was like, oh, this is cool as well. And then there was a point in my life where I had to decide, like, okay, neither of these are really viable, like, but I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah.
Right. And then it was like, if I make music, at least then I can still make music videos and I can make the artwork and you get to do all the things that you love still.
Yeah, fucking oath.
But the core of it is the music. Whereas if I did films, I think the only music I could really make would be like scene music, maybe the odd song here and there. But I went with the music because I got to still do all the other stuff that I love.
Wow, so the original love is film creation.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
So have you got a lot of music videos with a lot of your songs, or do you?
Yeah, I've made like all of my videos. I've pretty much made myself. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right.
that's like
So-
the only.
Are we talking like proper cameras and shit, or are we talking like iPhone? Like,
I mean, it's a very mixed bag. It depends what you got
Yeah.
going on. Like when
How
I
far
did
back you go?
yeah, exactly. But when I did like the No Miss Calls video,
yeah,
I asked a few people to help me out, and Sydney Classic. There's these people that I know that they make really high quality videos. I was like, I can't film this myself. I need you to help me film it, and then I'll still edit it and put it all together and rah rah rah. But they knew what I wanted, and so I could really explain it to them. And then when I turned up, they had it all set up, like all the stuff that I wanted. I wanted this like smoky room, you know, where I could have the camera coming in and out.
Right.
I wanted this party scene where I'm like sitting at this table, but there's no one there. And they had it all set up, you know. They knew exactly what I wanted. They helped me film it. But then the flip of that is like I did that one for throwaway bars, and I literally just set up a camera in the corner of my studio and just wrapped up my fucking camera and then just chopped in a bunch of live footage, and then that's that video, you know. But yeah, the further back you go, they're pretty much all iPhone videos, but but yeah, there's a certain point where it just depends.
So the album Nemesis, right?
The album, it's out now. Go and get it, baby.
Because I saw, had No Missed Calls on there, and you had previously released that. So is it all previously released, or how much new stuff is on there? Or
I think 6 of the songs on there I released as singles over the last like year, and then the other like 14 new, basically,
the art's dope on that too, man. Did you make that art, or
I put it all together, but the character on the front, just the character, like my friend Justin, he did that for me. He does he made a CGI. I had this character on the cover of all my old mixtapes, the Jack Beats mixtapes. It was like a cartoon one drawn by this guy called Skating Chinchilla. That was his graph name. That was his graph name. Yeah, and he did like a graph version of me. So that was always on everything. They used to throw it up on the walls and put it on stickers, and it was just real cool in Amsterdam. And then when I came over here, I wanted to kind of modernize that character and make him like CGI, because I wanted to have like this Mario style cover.
Yeah.
And then Justin, he used to do all this, like there was like back in the day there was like South Park forums and that. And he would do all these CGI South Park things, and I saw that and I was like, can you still do that? Like, do you still do that? And he was like, yeah, man. And I was like, can you make this into like a CGI me, but make it like Mario? And then a couple of weeks later he had the Mario version of me, and I was like, this is sick. And then you know, once you've got like the PNG of your character, you can build everything around it. So the background, I just found some cool picture of some street, you know, like, and then made all the fake PlayStation logos and shit to just make it look all legit. And yeah, he's gonna be my guy who does it every time, I think.
Yeah, it turned out sick, man. It looks cool.
Yeah.
No,
I was real happy with it.
It's a fucking good album. Yeah, when was it? I think when I messaged you, I'm like, fuck, I started my morning good to this shit. I put a story up, man. I was just chilling here. I'm like, fuck yeah, it's a fucking dope album, bro. So
Thank you, man.
Congrats on that shit, man. I want to ask you something not music related. How was it adjusting moving? Especially from a different country, man. I'll give props to people who do that, man. I think that'd be fucking hard,
and
man.
what's the culture, like the differences in culture, even in Amsterdam too? Like, that'd be crazy, right?
Amsterdam was less difficult because, you know, I was like a drug dealer before then, right?
So that was your home.
I moved to Amsterdam and I did it. We mainly chose there because I wanted to stop selling drugs. And I was like, if I moved to somewhere...
Wait, what the fuck? What's the logic
It's
there?
cool, it's called growing up, mate. Growing up.
Yeah.
You'll get there one day, mate.
It's all legal over there.
What I mean is like, you wanted to stop selling. Oh, yeah, that's right. So you mean you wanted to stop selling, so you went somewhere where it was legal?
Exactly right.
Yes,
yeah,
sorry.
Exactly it. So my bread and butter was pretty much
Okay.
selling weed. I'd sell other stuff on the weekend as well, but like it was mainly weed. And I just thought to myself, if I went to Amsterdam, it's in all the shops, I won't fall into the patten of trying to find the big bits of weed and telling everyone, come see me. You know? So then I did that, got a regular job. You know, got closer to my missus and that. Yeah. But then when I moved over there, because I had the friends, it wasn't too hard because they always had something going on as well. Skating Chinchilla and all his friends, because they're all graphers and art people, like every weekend they were like, oh yeah, there's this gallery we're going to go to, and then there's this sneaker festival that we're going to go to, and then such and such is playing. And so all the time there was something going on, and I was meeting lots of people, so it was easy. And then even when I moved over here, we moved into Maroubra, right? And another friend of mine from the UK had moved over here, and he was living in Maroubra, and I knew like 8 people in Maroubra. Like I knew them all. They all lived on the beach. And so when I first came here, I had a few friends by default, which made it a lot easier than people that just do it completely off the back of nothing. And so, yeah, when I got here, I was just like, where do we go? Where do we go to do music and da-da-da? And then someone was just like, oh, well, there's this guy called Buns. I don't know if you know Buns. OGKY. Sesk is an OGKY.
Yeah, okay,
1,
yeah.
2.
Yeah.
But they're like the first boys that I met out here that were actually doing it, you know?
Yeah, okay.
And they were like, oh, you need to go to this night here, or you need to meet these people here. And then I was also didn't have kids or anything at the time. I had a lot of time on my hands, you know? So I was just always trying to graft. Because I love the music anyway. I just love it. I'm just trying to find it and get involved in it, you know? Like, so.
And did you find when you came here, was the music culture when you got here way less than like Amsterdam and like England and all that?
You know what? I feel like everyone was telling me how good it used to be.
Yeah,
It was a little bit on the downturn when I got here, you know? They were like, oh, you know, like a few years ago, this place was full of people, you know, like Pez and 360 and that. They'd all just... like almost stopped a little bit, and so it was like the scene was changing, you know. And I was putting videos on Hustle Hard. You remember Hustle Hard?
Hustle Hard,
which is cool. Big up Gunster, like he let me go on there and all that stuff, and I was meeting all them boys. But you know, it's a bit more thugged out, you know what I mean? And I'm on there like A-Town is my town. Everybody else is like shaking you up, you know. And so I was sticking out a bit like a sore thumb, you know. But I found my way eventually, you know what I mean? Like it was. It was a culture shock at first, a little bit, because I don't know, I'm just very English. And, Not so much now.
I couldn't tell.
No, but to be fair, like now I still am very English. Like I'm proud to be English, but I feel very much part of the Australian culture now.
Yeah,
like, I get it.
That's
you know
so
what I mean?
fucking cool.
Don't you feel like Australian culture, or maybe not culture, but the banter, right? I've heard a few people say, you know, English people and Australian people, like the banter doesn't match. But I feel like it's the closest form of banter than any other nationality, I reckon.
Surely
like
close, right?
English and Australian, I reckon the banter, like...
I think initially there's a clash because people don't... Because you don't get it, you know? Like, I remember when I was out, like, because I'm real sarcastic, you know? I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's a real good idea. And then they're like, yeah, mate. You know? Like, they just don't get it. But then on the flip of that, you know, some guys would be like, oh, you're a fucking silly cunt. And I'm like... What do you mean I'm a cunt? Like, like it was real, like, what do you mean? And then they'd have to sit me down like, nah, it's a sign of affection, you stupid mad bastard. You know what I mean? And like,
fucking
I guess if you're only here for a few weweeks and you don't understand all this.
It's a bit much.
But now, you know. Yeah. You know.
Well, how long has it been now?
Someone's a fucking weak dog cunt, I know all about it, you know what I mean?
That's fucking awesome.
How long did you say you've been here for now?
About 12 years, I think.
12 years.
Oh, man.
Yeah, long time.
So you're fucking Aussie, mate. It's as simple as that. You're fucking Aussie.
See, at what point, right? Because I've known people to go over to England, and then after a while, you hear that English tone. So it might not be the way they speak, but even my missus works with a few English people, and she'll say stuff like, "Have you put the dryer on?" But she'll say it like, "Have you put the dryer on?" And you know how
have you put the fucking dryer on?
But she won't even say it with an accent. But it's the tone. Like, have you put the dryer on? Well, we're like, "Have you put the dryer on?"
Yeah,
but like shit like that.
No. Well, and I feel like that's happened to me. Like right now, because I'm being me and I'm on camera and I'm like, you know, I feel like I'm trying to be as much my real self as I can be. But day to day, when I'm just about with my missus, like. The Aussie kind of like
pokes out,
you know, like she'll show me something and I'll be like, yeah, that's mad, eh? You know, it will just come out. Like,
that is fucking
and over
awesome.
time, my accent's a fucking mess now.
Yeah, that's fucking sick,
That's
man.
awesome,
that is
bro.
awesome.
I love the accent. I always loved the English
it's so
accent.
cool, eh?
Yeah. And there's different. There's like Scousers from Liverpool.
Scousers.
You know what I mean? Like that use the word like at every
Fucking,
sentence.
you know what? Fuck off,
like.
mate.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? Coming around there? Go fucking 1 hour down the road and we all sound like this, you fucking bastard.
Who's that rapper? He's from Liverpool and he done a song with Potter Paper recently and it was like, Cop That. It's called Cop That or something. He looks kind of Indian. Like he's like dark skin. You might not know him.
The song now. I don't know.
I'll play it after, but the Scouser accent actually works as long as you can rap.
Yeah,
And
I mean that goes for all accents. By the way. Just by the way, that goes for all accents. Because Aussie, when I first got over here, I wasn't used to the Aussie accent. But now, like, I listen to loads of Aussie artists, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the time I was just hearing some real dodgy ones and I was hearing some good ones. And it was hard to, you know, navigate. Like, is this how they all are? Like, but
that's fucking sick. So another question I got for you, bro, is so your music, right? So now, okay, so you've done the big move. You're here, you're grinding, you're killing it, you're doing good, you're doing shows. So when it comes to you putting your words to a project, right?
Yep.
Do you have, this is my favorite question for just people who rap, right? Are you into production at all or not?
A little
really?
bit. Like I make a few beats, but it's never been my main.
Okay.
You know.
So do you have like a little network, a circle, your go-to guy for the beats, and he's just pumping you with beats and you're sitting there going, yeah, writing, nah, not this one, this one. Like what's your sort of go-to when you're creating? Because like that album you just did, right? That's a whopper. So for me, I'm pretty sure, no, was it you or Megalodon? No, I think it might have been Mega. We'll talk, and then I said how annoying it is after you do that project. It's an awesome feeling, and you got that weight off your shoulders, but then the writer's block that comes afterwards. For me personally, what's your kind of, your go-to? How are you doing it all?
So I do have producers that I do go to, like that make a lot of beats with me. Like Antzilla, he's somebody I've made loads of tunes with, and Ill since '86, he used to make a lot of beats for me too. Loads of people, Soul Option, like he's made loads of beats for me.
Yeah.
And I still get bangers from them, but over time, I will now just go hunting when I'm in the mood for I wanted to write a song about my son or whatever, and I don't have it in the repertoire. I'll just start flicking through some shit online, and I'll try and find something. And these days, like, I'll just lease a beat. I don't give a shit anymore, to be honest. Like I used to be like, oh no, someone's gonna rap on the same beat as me. But it's just I did 6 mixtapes of me rapping on other people's beats, and it didn't seem to fuck their careers up too much. So I think I'll be all right. You know what I mean?
Fucking oath.
And if a song does pop off really well and it goes to that point, I'll just go back to them and be like, this one's doing all right. I'm just gonna buy the full lease now. You know what I mean? But,
I suppose because the beat it's not worth as much as the person on the beat, in terms of like, you could lease a beat to someone, and if he's not as good, or he's just as good but he has a unique quality that you don't, or vice versa, it's gonna feel like a completely different song, even though the beat's the same. You know what I mean?
True.
Like
It's
just
true,
like a sample kind of thing. Isn't that what it is? Just a sample?
Yeah, I've leased beats before too. So a lease is you get the lease for a fraction of the price as if you were to buy it outright.
Yeah.
And then but other people can use the same beat.
Yeah,
Whereas if you buy exclusive, that's your beat. No one else can use it.
It just goes
Exactly.
to you.
Like Chillin' It did a song.
What's up, Australia? It's Egyptian Thunder God here from FireCast. Do you like training? What about staying hydrated? What about letting the world know? Because we all know that everyone loves to film themselves. If you don't film it at the gym, it doesn't count. This is the easiest way to take your videos at the gym. It's got this magnetic ring, the back of your phone. Set it up like so and record whatever you want. You don't have to be some obnoxious dude or girl bringing some tripod thing to the gym. No one wants to see that. This is so subtle, yet so effective. 10% of every purchase also goes to the Sydney Children's Hospital, so that's a plus. This thing stays hot or cold for hours, and it just doesn't get better than this. You know what I mean? You can pick up yours whenever you want. Hydro Grip. Let's go.
Was it his biggest one? What's
The
it's a
happy
motherfucking
one.
vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the chick from Blackpink, the K-pop, massive K-pop thing, used the same beat.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So everyone, when that came out-
Wish You Well. Wish You Well, it's called. Yeah.
Oh,
that's the
funny
one, yeah.
fucking story. Our headliner for tomorrow night at Synergy by Steven, he's got a fucking song where, what the fuck are those guys' names? The Islanders from fucking Melbourne? Not one.
HP Boys.
HP Boys.
HP Boys.
They got the same beat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. And by Steven, I'm pretty sure released the song first.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It happens, man.
Well,
Yeah,
you
it
know, same thing with J. Cole. J. Cole and Amine have the same song. What's the... Pride is the devil. Yeah, Amine released the song first, and then
Yeah,
J. Cole
okay.
did
And
the
yeah,
same
that's the
beat.
thing. And you know, it just doesn't really matter anymore, you know? Like,
Yeah.
the main reason that you want the lease is so you can put it on Spotify and be like, oh, here,
Yeah.
I've got the paperwork if you need to see it.
It's legit. Make it
Yeah,
legit.
back in the day, it used to just be on mixtapes and people would pass them around and no one would be paying no leases. It would
Yeah,
just
yeah.
be, you know,
Fucking
you
oath.
get some
Bootleg.
50-cent beats and you'd be like, yeah, motherfucker. You know, you just steal that
Fucking-
shit. So, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, that's generally my process. Is I sit on a bunch of beats.
Yep.
Might take me a couple of years. Like if I really like one, whether I can write to it at a time or not, I'll just say to them, don't give this one to anyone else. Yeah, just
let it sit on it,
Let
yeah.
me have it. Like when it's the producers that I work with a lot, I'll be like,
Yeah,
give
yeah.
that one to me.
yeah, right.
Sell the rest of them. You can do what you want, but just let me have that
interesting.
one, and I will use it when I use it.
Yeah.
So, are you the type that sits on a lot of songs? Do you have a lot of tracks in the vault still?
I do. That is generally
Yeah.
what I do. Yeah. Like my album, even though my album's done now, I reckon I've already got half an album ready to go.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But this album still took me longer than ever. I used to put out an album a year. That was my whole deal. Every year, put out an album. That was my whole fucking deal.
Yeah.
You go onto my fucking Spotify, you can see. If you want to look, you'll see what the album's there. Sometimes a song will pop off really well. Sometimes the album will be quiet. But it is what it is. I'm not really a social media fucking ninja. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But would you sprinkle in a few singles in between the albums?
Yeah.
And then do you put those singles like a lot of artists do on an album anyway? Like, you know how some people... it's like a teaser, right? You tease them and then you put it on
fucking
there.
oath.
Okay, mad.
Yeah. Fucking oath. Yeah, no, okay. So, and then what about now? What was interesting for me with you as well is that the EDM stuff.
Yeah.
Because you've got this massive fucking song, Bassface, isn't it?
Bassface,
When I saw the
Bassface,
streams on that, I was like, what the fuck? And that's a dope
Bassface has
song.
done well. The biggest ones that I've done is I did one with Uberjacked called Reverse. Something like 2.5 million or something.
Yeah, so how does that... Do they hit you up? Are you hitting them up?
They hit me up, They just hit me up. Because you know what? There was a time, especially when Shutdown was out and, you know, Drake was pulling out Skepta on stage and then people were suddenly like, oh, the English people.
Yeah.
You know, like
everyone wants a piece of the pie.
People would suddenly message you like, hey, I got this tune here. Like, I'm looking for that kind of British sound.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I'm your guy. You know? And then... same thing with Stormzy. When Stormzy started popping off, like you get a few more people hit you up, like, you know. But it all started, I did a song with this guy called J Sounds, and it wasn't the biggest song, maybe like 50, 60,000 streams or whatever, but it got on a few of those compilations, you know. It's on like, I don't know, like that Now This Is Fucking Dance or whatever. I don't know, it's on a few of them anyway. And then because it got out there, he is well connected. He does lots of those big EDM shows, and then people will be like, "I need a British guy," and he's like, "Oh, I know this guy." And then I would start doing like I did this one with Tom Buddin. Do you know Tom Buddin? Jordan Magro.
Yeah.
I did Ride the Wave with them, and that's on like 3.5 million streams.
Shit.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So when you do a song like that, like you don't have to say numbers or anything, but like, do you get money from this? Like, are you getting a decent chunk of change or like millions of streams? Like that sounds like a lot.
No, I mean, before the world went crazy with the COVID stuff, I was like ready to say to my missus, I reckon I could probably do this as a job now. Like, you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, because you would get like these big chunks of money out of nowhere. You might not get anything for like 2 months, but then you might just get like $9,000.
And it makes up for it.
Well, that would have been my pay for like 2 months. Like,
wow.
If I can do this. But then, once all the COVID stuff happened and everything kind of changed and there was like no clubs, no radio play, no playlists getting put into the APRAs and that. And it all just went nothing.
Real quick.
Like I remember getting a royalty check and thinking like, thank God I need this. And I looked at it and it was like $320, which still sounds like a lot, but it's not when you
especially
were
in Sydney,
like
man.
Before.
Fucking New South Wales.
Yeah.
So
and
so sorry that $9,000 for example, that's just from streaming, not live performances.
It's just from it existing out there.
Gotcha.
It's from APRA. So an APRA.
APRA AMCOs, of course. Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm not throwing exact numbers out there, but it was good. There was a time there where it was good.
Yeah.
We all knew it was good.
Yeah, right.
And we're all just like working together to just keep the songs pumping, keep the songs playing. And when it died a bit, it really died. And then everyone's getting back up again now.
I was going to say, are you up on the upswing now? Like, what did you say?
But not in this, not for the royalties so much because it's just different now. Like everything's Spotify, and Spotify just pays nothing.
Piddly,
yeah. You know,
peanuts.
There's just no money there.
So you almost took that leap of faith of I'm ready to fucking quit my 9 to 5.
I was really close, man. I was really close.
Wow, see, that's the second guest in a row that we've had. So remember, Lot 54 was saying he had to sell his fucking car to pay off a show debt, and and then we had No Sight, who headlined our first Synergy show. He said he fucking basically quit his job and shit. So you motherfuckers realize that when we're doing this shit, it's fucking half the time at a loss. So that's why we asked to stream the albums, fucking like the post, but it's fucking hard this shit, bro. We're trying our fucking nuts off, bro. So
it's the toughest it's ever been, I think.
Yeah.
You know. It's like there was a time when it was the best because everyone had a way to get their foot in the door. You know, the internet really helped. YouTube helped, you know, but now it's like at first the businesses, they lost control. They were like, oh shit, people are downloading all the music for free. Everyone's like all these independent artists everywhere. And then they found a way to take control again.
Exactly.
They were like, oh, now here's the biggest platform in the world is Spotify now. We control all the playlists, all the money, and now it's back to this. And I even though I hate that, I'm still like, stream the album on Spotify. I just want people to listen to the album. I just want people to hear it, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
It's the easiest. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just fucking way too
I
easy.
reckon, like companies like that allows you guys to release your songs on platforms like anything, right? Like Spotify, YouTube, whatever. I feel like when they first come round, they hook everyone, right? Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
That's putting in all this, and then they start to put terms and conditions, whether it's intentional or not, right? I feel like there's a common theme, even with Netflix now. You can't share your Netflix with 4 other people. You gotta buy. So they get you there. So all these artists are dropping songs and not having to pay this and that. All of a sudden they go, no, but wait, now you got to do.
You know what though? I don't think they have the foresight for that. I think it happens, and I feel like they retroactively are like,
okay.
oh shit, we're losing the grip. Like with Netflix, they started losing money, and they're like, shit, how are we losing so much money? They're
Stop
like, oh,
letting
everyone's
people-
sharing.
Yeah.
Let's fucking stop that right now.
okay.
And I feel like the same happened with the labels and that. They were like, if everyone's gonna steal the music, we need to give it to them as easy as possible so we can get the revenue.
So we
back.
stop. So we're not stealing anymore. Essentially.
Yeah. I think that's how it's gone. I mean, I could be wrong.
No, that
It
makes
could be some guy like-
that makes more sense. That was my tinfoil hat coming on for a split second. there.
Yeah, not yet.
not
mate.
ready-
You gotta
not
fucking
ready for that
Leave
yet.
that there. Okay, that is actually fucking awesome. Okay, so you've almost taken the leap of faith, right?
Yeah.
And then what? So was it COVID that then made you? What about your missus, right? Again, don't have to say numbers and shit, but was it your missus that kind of helped ground you a bit, or was you like, yeah, nah, bro, jump, like let's do, we're in?
No, so I mean, so I always used to have, I used to work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
4 days. And then I'd always have this Wednesday off in the middle to do music.
That's
No
your
matter
music
what,
day, yeah.
It was music day, no kids.
Nothing,
No
yeah.
wife,
Yep.
no nothing. Just I'm going to go in the studio all day and I'm going to do the work. And for a while, whenever the royalties or whatever came in, it would always like she was always supportive anyway. She wouldn't give me shit, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I always felt like it justified me only working 4 days a week because I'd always be like, oh look, here comes this. You know, here you go, put that away. You know, I'll take a little bit of this so I can buy that.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Like, and so it always justified it. And when it stopped being justified, I had to lose my music day. Like when COVID happened and all this stuff, like. Music day gone. I don't have it anymore because I needed to get extra hours at my regular job to make sure we could pay our mortgage and our bills and all this stuff. And so that's gone now. That's why it takes me so long to fucking get shit done now because I used to be on it. Someone would be like, oh, do you want a feature? I'd be like, no problemo, baby.
Yeah,
I'll
done,
get it
yeah.
done on Wednesday. You know, things could drop up on the list quickly. I could get it done. But now, like, I always tell people, like, I'm sorry, I'm not slow. I have literally no time. And unless you want me to phone it in, unless you want me to put my kids to bed after doing shit all day,
put
them to bed at, they're in bed at 8
And
o'clock
working
and I'm
and
knackered
shit.
and then I just go downstairs and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is what you need. Yeah, blood. This is what you want. Yeah, this is what you need. No bars, no substance. Peace. And then I send it to him and I'm just like, there you go, mate. Like, is that all right? And
if
they're
they
like,
want you on the
of
song,
course.
they want you in tip top form.
Yeah, I just want to be good. I want to always be good. I mean, sometimes you're not saying anything. You don't always have to say something in a song. I'm not saying you have to.
Yeah,
you know,
fuck yeah.
there's stupid songs all the time. I listen to loads of MCs that just get on a song and they're like,
Just
I'm
having fun.
stupid, I'm dumb,
Yeah,
I'm crazy. You know, like,
I like
it's
cum.
fine. But it's
a little
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck.
But yeah, I just feel like it has to be at least.
And I
you
feel
have
like
to sound like you want to be there.
if your energy's off as well, I feel like unless you're really good at hiding it, I feel like if you're used to, like, you'd be the harshest critic of yourself, right?
Always,
so if you listen back and you're like, and you know the feeling you're feeling, like frustrated or tired or this and that, and then you get in the booth, it's going to show, I feel like, at least to yourself.
Yeah, you can
And
hear
you want to
it.
be happy because whatever you release, right, you don't want your Spotify to be a whole list of songs where you're like, I mean, you're always going to eventually maybe grow out of love with some songs, but you don't want to release it and then soon after be like, what the fuck was I thinking? I just rushed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah.
So
I mean,
you're-
I did it. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to ask about your setup. So, like, is how much are you in the studio? Like, are you getting studio time, or you got your own setup?
No,
at
I've got
home?
my own studio at home. So
Yeah,
I
nice.
converted my garage.
Nice.
It's mainly for vocals, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
kind of
no.
like this, except
Yep.
the only important thing is the mic and the soundproofing above the mic and around the mic,
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
everything else. I just mix everything in headphones, and I got speakers and do the car test, and if everything's all gravy, I'm like,
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Very
that's
good.
the best
good.
way to do it, man. In my
Yeah,
opinion,
very
best way to do it.
Very good.
Yeah.
See, yeah, okay. Okay, so then.
well, this guy raps in his closet, so
Yeah, man. Whatever works, bro.
Yeah.
You
I
just,
knew
you get
this
it
guy
done.
was in the closet.
Okay. So now let's bring it now to current times, right? So we've all know that COVID was fucking hard for everyone in different ways.
Yeah.
Okay, you've moved, you're doing this, you're doing that, royalties are pumping, boom, drops a little bit. Luckily, you don't take that leap of faith, right? Now, a couple of years, boom, boom, boom. Now, this current age, 2024, how do you sort of see yourself with the music? You're just in the album, which is a cracker. Again, don't have to say numbers. So obviously royalties, probably not as good as they were pre-time, you know?
They won't be good at all. The royalties were only ever from the dance tunes, the EDM. Like my royalties from my regular songs is like but it's 60, $70 per song after like a quarter, after half a year, you know. It's not that much. It was always the big dance tunes because they were getting played everywhere and they'd be on these compilation CDs or whatever, you know, like they were always everywhere. So that's where the money would come in. And I would get paid. Like sometimes I might just be like, I don't know if this one's going to pop off. I can definitely rap on it. I definitely feel like it's good. But I don't know if it's going to pop off. So just pay me $350 to do it. And then give me like 20% of the, or 30% of the royalties. And then at least I got the money to put away in the kitty. And then if it does pop off, at least I get a little bit on the back end still. You know, that's
see, I like that. There's a.
But it's never about the money. Did you know what? Here's the thing. It's not about the money. And I've always just been chasing to just, all I want to do is live off of music. I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be famous.
Just comfortable.
I just want to be able to do a few shows a year and put out some, not even a few. Like I'd do a show every weekend if it would pay my mortgage and, you know, pay for my kids to go to the swimming pool, whatever, you know, and just buy some clothes and put some food on the table. That's it. I'm not looking for anything crazy, but I'm also just not really a businessman. It sounds like I am now because we're talking about it, but I'm not. Like I was very shocked at the money that was coming in, you know, at the time when it was coming out. I was like, this is it. This is it, baby. Oh my God, I've done it. I've cracked the code. Right. You know?
I got it. Honestly, no, hold on a second. You are a fucking businessman because you're thinking you think you got to kind of think about the future. So I like the whole, okay, look, man, I don't know if this is going to fucking be kind of worth my time. Give me an upfront payment, whatever. Boom, we do it. We go hard. And then whatever happens, we sort it out later. I like that. That's businessman, bro.
Yeah, but
that's businessman.
But now in this day and age in 2024, but I took about a year off of music, not a complete year off. But
wait, this year?
No, last year.
Oh, really?
So not a full year, like I did a few bits here and there, but that's why it was like a 3-year gap basically between the two albums.
Because, oh shit! Okay, yeah.
Because I took a bit of a break because I couldn't, I didn't have any money and I didn't have any time with the kids and the mortgage and all the shit. I was like, couldn't do it. And you know what? I got so weirdly depressed and I didn't really know why. I was like weirdly depressed, and it wasn't because I wasn't making any money off music. It's because I wasn't making any.
You weren't creating.
I didn't realize. I mean, I always knew, but I'm chinking these fucking glasses.
No, you're right. Yeah.
There we go. But yeah, I didn't realize just how much it affected me as a person to like not be creating and doing things. And now, the money is the least important thing to me ever. All I want to do now is make sure that I'm making music and being around people that like music just to make me feel like a good person in the world, you know? Yeah. And I guess that's a failure coming to terms with the fact that he hasn't made it. I don't know what that is, but you know what? For me, it just when I realized that I was depressed and weird, it's because I put all this pressure on this thing that I love. You know, but I just love it. I just love it. I will make music every single day if I could, but I can't afford to do that. But I still want to make music all the time, regardless if anyone's listening. I mean, it's nice when people are listening to it.
Of course.
But I don't care about the money, you know. Even when I sell my merch and stuff like that, most of the time, the margin of
it's time.
There's like
we're the same.
I just want people to have the shirts or the hats or the CD or whatever. I just want people to be able to rep something cool that I created. Or, you know.
Fucking hope. See, I fuck with that. If people think that we do this merch, we do shows, and we're making $10,000 a pop, man.
When we first brought out the merch, we were at a big loss.
We were in a fucking hole, man.
I just wanted you cunts to have Trip Jacket Mafia shit because it looked cool.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that.
But, yeah,
okay, like that's so dope, bro. So in this current age, right, this time, 2024, so after everything you've been through, if it gets to the point, right, say for whatever reason, it pops again, right?
Yeah.
Whatever fucking reason, I don't know, bro. You feature on a fucking song for fucking Skrillex or whatever.
Yeah.
Boom. That fucking APRA payment comes in, bro. It's like fucking 100 G's or something, right? Aussie money too, which is fucking double everyone else's money, right? So, and then you sit there and go, holy fuck, all right. And then you look at your partner, you go, fuck, I'm a bit older now. Like, do you then go, nah, man, I'm giving this again, we're going
if it was
hard.
100 grand.
Or
Maybe. And if it was Skrillex, right? Because that's the point where it's not just like
it's beyond the next level now, right?
Yeah, that's like that's you're on this. The avenue opens up for all sorts of doors. Even if the next year you only make 40 grand off of doing 20 tunes, that's still a fucking wage for the year.
Fucking oath.
Like that's the door that opens up. So yeah, of course, I would love to do that, And it's like, I can make all the jokes I want about Justin Bieber, but if he hit me up and he was like, "Hey dude, I'd love you to do a verse on this song," I'd be like, "Of course, Justin. Of course,
Big fan, big fan.
Yeah, love it."
But that's what when you were saying before, how you're not doing it for the money, you're doing it for the love of it, right? I believe that like as long as that is your motive, like for the love of the music, right? And the more it sounds like you're networking a lot since you've been in Australia, so with other artists or whatever. No matter how
I was more back then. Now I've got less time, so less so.
But I mean, like you've already. Like, I feel like you've already made your place here in Australia in the music scene to a certain extent. It might not be peaking as much in terms of networking, but like, don't you think persistence is key at the same time? I'm not saying you should just rely on, this is going to be big and this and that, but I feel like the longer you're in it, the longer people know who you are. And I feel like it can only lead to good things, whether that's a Skrillex feature.
If you're good, though.
But you are good, though. You are good, though.
And I appreciate that. And I feel like as long as you actually are good at what you do, and not every, because there's some people that would just do it forever and ever and ever.
And it won't go anywhere.
Of course.
It never goes anywhere.
Yeah.
And they become a bit of a joke. And I'm just like, how deluded are you? Like, I feel it real hard when anyone says something about what I've made, Like if they say something, I'm just like, man. I could get 100 comments, but that one,
the one,
it just sits in my brain all day.
Yeah,
like,
really.
Just, I can't brush it off. It usually pisses me off.
Yeah,
not for all the trolls to now be like, yes, we're getting to him. But I hate that shit, man. Like, it's because I do it for the love. I want it to,
Yeah.
Okay, so
because that question was directly to you, not some cunt that doesn't know how to humble themselves and they don't know their own abilities. You know how some people they're
not self-aware. They like talk about this
lack self-awareness.
But that was directed to you in terms of I feel like I don't know the level of rap that you're putting out is like I said it's up there with like one of the most unique we got in Australia, and I feel like the longer you're out there, that's like with us as well, like DZ, like fucking Iggy, like you just the longer I've seen it grow over the years, the longer they're in it, the more doors are opening, right? And it doesn't mean the cash is sitting right there on the table and we got all this cash. But I feel like good things will come. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like,
to what extent? Who knows?
If you stop, nothing's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? So you got to keep going regardless.
Yeah.
And if nothing ever happens, it doesn't. But every time it's like playing a lottery. You're never going to win if you don't fucking buy a ticket.
Yeah,
like,
exactly
it's just not going
right.
to happen. So you got to keep going. But as long as your motive is passion and not following trends and like making a song like that because you think everyone's gonna love it, like and maybe that will work, but I think when you get there, it will feel more.
You'll feel empty again. You need more. You're always gonna need more.
And I don't know if it'll last as long, eh?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like, I love being on the Uberjack tune. I had a great time doing it. Like it's a fun tune. People love it. Same with the Ride the Wave tune and stuff like that. But if you hear my album, like most of it is like it's a rapper's album.
Yeah, you're
I love that shit.
You're rapping, yeah.
And I
fucking
love that. But I would love to have a million streams on something where I'm spilling my guts instead of a million streams on something where I'm just going, shut the fuck up. And even though that's cool, like it's not as deeply personal to me. So it's not empty. I was still very happy to see those streams and stuff, but it's different to whether, like I got this song World on My Back that I did that was like real. It took me weeks to write it, because I was just like, every time I go in there, write like 4 bars and I was pulling from like just the saddest parts of my psyche, I guess, like all the worst parts of myself. I was trying to kind of put it out there. And, it did all right. Like it's got like 50,000 plays or something. But, if that had 1 million, I'd be like, man, people are really, they get what I'm talking about, Yeah.
But a lot of people can't keep up with rap because they're just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
No, but like even if it's not like that, like a lot of people just like they listen to the beat and that's all they focus on. But I'm like a pure diehard. Like don't get me wrong, I like other songs as well, other genres a little bit, but I love rap. Like I like the cool dance tracks and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I love bars, like listening to bars.
Yeah,
and
same.
Catching bars and like catching them live, like you'll finish a bar. And you'll be on to the next one, and I'm like, oh, You what you just said? And my missus will be what? Like, and I'll rewind it. Like, bro, he said this. Like,
I've never been really too much of a punchline guy, but I still try and be as real as possible, if you know what I mean. Or try and be a bit silly, because I'm
well, it's not just punchlines, it's flow, you know what I mean? The ability to, I enjoy that as well. Like we just were, DZ was having a little practice run of one of his songs he's playing tomorrow, Heavy. And he's got this one verse in there. I'm not gonna fuck it up. But the verse, it kind of like the beat of the verse, he gets on this, it's like, and it keeps rolling on, and I'm driving in the car thinking, when's this kind of gonna stop? And and it's that tone shift that I'm talking about. Like, everyone sounds the same, but I feel like to have like the tempo change up and all this stuff, like, I don't know. I just love that shit. So when you said like your album was like a rapper's album and not just a dance track, I love those kind of albums, bro.
Yeah. I mean, as well, for ages, I've got a few tunes on there that are like really not rappy as well. Like, I've got a few singy ones on there because I'm still feel like I'm a bit of a musical person as well. I like to try and do things that I haven't done before. And
wait, so do you fuck with, like, when you say singing, like, do you have some vocals on you? Like, do you have some chords on you? Or like, what?
You know, like the No Miss Calls tune, for example. That's like a kind of like
that's a great song.
Indie kind of.
Okay, nice.
I met a lot of people.
Yeah, indie.
In my life, you know, it's like all like that. It's not like me just like, I met a lot of people in my life. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very different kind of delivery.
Yeah.
It still sits in the pocket of
hip hop.
Because I'm a rapper, like, it just naturally I'm gonna do things that are a bit rappity dappity. But yeah, it definitely sits in a different pocket. I got one that I wrote about my missus, and it's like I'm just like, I can't believe you're here with me. Like, it's like proper singing.
Like,
For ages I was like, I'm gonna put this on my album. I was just like, I don't know if people are gonna fuck with it. And eventually I was just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna put it on there because
Chuck it on there.
who cares? If people don't like it, they'll just skip it. And if they do like it, then they'll be like, rah, you can do that as well. There you go,
All right. So another thing, I love asking this question as well. Okay, so after
12 inches.
Thank God. That's all I want to know. Get the oil. Fuck it. So social media side.
Yeah, hate it.
I knew it.
Yeah, you know, right?
I feel like most of us hate it, right?
Who loves it? No one.
Yeah.
But we need it.
I know. Do you know what? At one point, I did like a course. I did like a course on what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, right.
And
did you learn anything or no?
I did. I learned that I pretty much want to give up music. This was just before, right? And the guy in the course, he made a lot of sense. Everything he said was legit. But he's just like, look, you don't have to do this stuff. You don't have to. But if you don't, somebody else is going to. So you got to do it. And he's like this American dude. You know, and he's just like, you don't have to do it. But, you know, it's like you got to take a day, take an hour of your day, get your spreadsheet out. You got to look at the numbers, look at where people are doing this. And I'm like, man, I do not want to do that. Like, that is like the worst thing that I could possibly imagine. But he made a lot of sense. He's like, you need to make 10 ads that all do these different things, target them here, target them there, and then the next day, look at your ads and look at where they went and who they went to, because that group of people, there's another 100,000 people just like them, and once you know, you can go down there. And he's right, because he's showing you all the numbers, he's showing you how to do it, and I just could not rip my face off fast enough. I was just like, you know?
That's a pretty good fucking accent. You fucking could fool me.
Dude, come on.
Yeah.
Get to the chopper. That was horrible.
Get the streams, come on, do it.
Yeah, so I feel like
DC, come on.
Wow, you really fucking nailed that.
I feel like most of us do sort of shoot ourselves in the foot with the social media shit. I fucking hate it. You guys know on FireCast how much I fucking hate it. I think you cunts are all fucking cringe. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking bullshit. But I feel like if we stepped it up, though,
we would be popping.
We'd be fucking in the Bahamas by now, living off the streams and shit.
We have to step it up, man. We have to.
So this is the fun part, right? Filming it, chopping up these little clips of doing stuff like this. This is cool. The stuff that's not fun is like, hey guys, what is up? A
Yeah.
new thing is out, or like having to do some silly
Dance,
dance,
or
or find out what's trending, and like,
Or try and do a
fuck
candid
off.
video of you in the club or something, and you're just like having a drink, and you're like just a little, or like just little like candid shots, and like but you pretending
You know,
that like
I am not handsome enough to even try those. I'm not gonna lie.
you know, there's a guy on TikTok, and he gives shit. He bags out all the people. This like English dude, and he there's this like, it's always like someone in the car doing something that they know their missus is filming, but they're acting like
pretending
they don't-
yeah.
and then he takes the piss out of them every video, and he just makes it seem
You
ridiculous.
seen that video of the baby and he's walking, he's just filming, he's walking to the car and he's filming and then the door's locked and he can't open the door.
Oh, really?
He
No,
starts
no.
laughing. He's like, you're fucking up my video, dog.
But, you know, all these people that we're talking about, they're probably doing better than us.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
You know what?
Yeah,
The thing
definitely.
that will make me cringe and die inside for the rest of my life. Where somebody else might see it, right, and think, oh, that's a bit cringe. But then they'll forget about it straight away because no one cares. And then you care. Like it's in your head forever,
Yeah.
but they don't care. They'll see you next week and you might put something out cool and they'll be like, yeah, that's cool. And then they might see you do something cringe. They might see you do something. Like, I think about it all the time. It's like when I put my album out, I put like maybe 10 posts up and I felt like I was being annoying because I kept posting about it. You know that feeling? Like,
yeah.
But most people don't even see it, right?
Yeah.
Because then like I follow, I don't know, Snow the Product, right? You know her? Snow?
Yeah, she's dope.
Right?
She's dope.
Yeah, she post like if she's got a single coming out, she'll post it like 8 times, and I don't even think about the fact that it's
Exactly.
annoying. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking about the fact she's got a new single coming out, and that's it. But when I'm doing it, I feel like I'm being so annoying. I guess it's because I got still a lot of my friends and stuff on there. But once you transcend that, and then you've got 50,000, 100,000 people that are just there to get your music, it might feel different. But now it just feels annoying.
I had to unfollow Snoop Dogg once because this motherfucker, like this was years ago, this guy was posting like 20 photos in a row of the same shit. I'm like, I gotta unfollow this guy. Fucking this motherfucker's posting too much.
So so again, right? And I always say this, that when you're a creator, your worst enemy is yourself, right?
Yeah.
So how hard is it for you? Have you ever kind of sat in the studio where you've, I don't know, say you start an album, you've got an EP, you've got some mixtape, and you've just sat there and you've gone, nah, this is fucked. Like I can't do that. How many times do you kind of battle yourself? Because I feel like every creative person, we're our own curse at
What
the
do
end
you
of the
mean?
day.
So what do you mean? Like, as in, like you just suddenly become unhappy with the project?
Yeah, or like how many has there been projects where you've started, you've a couple songs deep, and then you go, fuck this is ass. But if you were to release it, man, the people probably going to dig that shit. Like how many times are you kind of battling yourself
You know
when you're
what?
making music?
I think you always do that just in general. But I guess what I do is I always have a goal in mind that I'm going to put out an album at some point. So I just start making songs that I like. And then instead of it being the project yet, I'm just making songs. And when I really like one, I'm like, all right, I want to put that one on the album.
Yeah.
Might just put that one out at some point, see how it goes or whatever. Or like, fuck that one off.
Yeah,
That one's
yeah.
shit. I don't know why I thought it was good.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, and eventually over time, you have enough songs where you feel good about it, I think. But I've always had that. I don't know. I've never done that. I've never fully been like, fuck this project.
Yeah, right.
I've always been down. I think one of the hardest ones, like I did a couple with Losty, and it wasn't hard. I love making those albums, but because it was me, Losty, and Ill Since 86, all of us had to sign off on every song. So we had a lot of times in the studio where we'd all be sitting in there, you know, and we'd be like, are we going to have this piano at the end here
Yeah,
or are we
right.
not? And you know, Lusty's like, yeah, we got to have the piano, man. And I'm just like, I don't know if I'm feeling the piano. And again, it's not bad, but I'm usually by myself. I just decide what the
Exactly.
album is
Yeah.
and I do it. So that was a hard one. But in the long run, that one paid off because they forced me to step out and do loads of stuff that I guess I wouldn't normally choose to do. And that's the only album I've ever been on. Like we got #1 on iTunes that week, which is crazy because all the pirate, you know, like all the torrents and shit, they were torrenting our album. It was going in there because they must have saw it was in the chart. They rip all the albums off the chart and they just put them on torrents. And I was like, I'm being torrented. This is it. It's finally happened.
Yeah.
You know? But that was cool to do that album with Losty and have that, I guess, mini mainstream but completely underground moment for us.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
And that's 3 different creative opinions at once, right? So that would have been
Exactly.
fucking difficult, right? Sure.
It was, but it was fun, difficult.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it-
like a
it-
good, not in a bad way, by the way. Like I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
like creative.
I'm saying too.
Creative opinions can sometimes you're like, oh, maybe, yeah, like you said,
Yeah.
not the piano. I want the piano, but Do we really need it? And it's just kind of like, because when I'm making music by myself, it's like you said, I can make that decision. Boom, boom, boom. Nah, this is shit. Delete. Nah, I want that. Boom, make this, that drum, change the snare. But as soon as I'm collabing with people, it's like I said, I've once made a fucking song with an American DJ where he sent me back the song and he took out all my shit. And I was like, you fucking, I was like, you're a funny cunt. Yeah, I'd rather you just be straight up and say, hey man, this ain't working. Rather than you send it back and all my shit's gone. I was like, what the fuck was the point in this past couple of months? So that's 3 different creative, heads kind of trying to make one bit of art
Exactly,
work.
yeah. And I think that was the only time where sometimes, I basically was just like, if that's how we're going to have the song, that's how we're going to have the song. 2 against 1, like you guys have chosen on this one.
Yeah.
It is where it is. But again, retroactively, when the songs come out and people like the songs, like some of them, like, I don't know, like I love them now, but at the time I was like, it's like I wasn't in the mood to hear it the way it was, you know what I mean? So, yeah. It's one of that's the closest I've come to the scenario.
Yeah. You proposed to me, sir. Yes.
Next question.
Yes, I was just wondering how you were speaking on royalties before, but how else? Because you've been when you first got here very active, and it seems like now you're still making music. You're still an active artist. Do you know what I mean? But like, what other avenues of income is there other than royalties? I'm just not aware of it.
There would be the very thin layer of merch money that you can make, which we talked about earlier. It's usually just like $5 or $10, maybe as well. Like once you underestimate the postage costs and realize that you're fucking yourself in the arse. I've done that a couple of times. But then there's also shows as well. So if you get around enough like that and you can do shows, you can ask for good money at shows. Losty, he's always been like, Losty, my man. But
Shout out Lofty.
He's always been good at like knowing his worth, if you know what I mean. Like he would be like, oh, you getting paid? And I was like, I didn't really talk to him about money. I just thought it'd be a cool show to go and do. And he's just like, tell him you want $200. And he's like, if you get 300, I'll come with you and do the show with you, stuff like that, And so he knows how to negotiate with promoters and stuff like that. I mean, he obviously also plays these massive like hard style events all the time. So he knows that he riles the crowd up, But yeah, I guess I've never. I don't know what it is. It's one of them weird things, isn't it? It's like you believe in yourself, but you also think that everyone knows you're a loser at the same time. So you don't.
It's the like
imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
You're like, how are people like? How do I have fans here that are like fucking chanting for me to keep rapping? And I'm like, you're up here like, I'm actually doing it, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
It's a crazy thing, but it's good to be grounded and feel like a loser, I guess, than it is
to a certain extent. Like you should be able to try eventually. Like, surely, like your abilities as a rapper, right? And this Losty, you said, right? That he knows his worth. Surely you know yours, but it does get awkward asking anyone for money. Anyone, even as businesses, because businesses don't want to let go of money. Period. If you would show up for free, they'll fucking take it. So it is weird. I get that in when I was doing my own work, electrical wise, when I would be like, this is my price. A lot of people just see the cost. They don't know what goes into the cost. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like if you come around to do a show, this and that, they don't know, like you were a service, you know what I mean? You're providing the vibes for the club and they're getting money off the bar, the venue, they're making their fucking coins. So you should have your hand in the pie as well. But it is hard. It is hard.
Everyone has made more fucking money than me doing these fucking shows, you motherfuckers. So yes, you do got to know your worth, bro. This motherfucker, you've got fans. Like I said,
you're just humble. I feel like you're just a humble dude. If you were like very upfront and be like, arrogant,
like, boom.
But your personality seems, from as far as I know, unless you're a sociopath and this is all, and this is all an act. No, but I'm pretty sure. Like I don't know, you're a pretty nice guy. You just don't want to get walked all over. You know what I mean?
At the same time, it's one of those things where, like, I feel like that being a nice person is a big part of what makes me. I don't know, like a good thing anyway, you know what I mean? Like, if I went into a show and I was sick on the stage, but I was acting like a cock to everyone, I don't know. I guess it does work for some people, because they make it to the top acting like a piece of shit the whole time. I just can't do it. I just want to be nice to everyone, Even tossers. I'm nice to tossers as well.
I think killing with kindness is the best method. My old man taught me that. It gets them angrier, and they end up looking like the fool. You know?
Yeah, 100%. What about So you've been doing this for a fucking while. There has to be. I ask this question all the time, and no one can give me a cool story.
All right, let me give you a cool story.
There has to be horror performances, horror promoter stories horror sets. There's got to be something, bro. Something where you've gone up there and it's just not gone the way you've planned, or the promoter's a cock. He's reeled you in. There's got to be something. Come on.
I mean, I do have one actually.
Give it to us, man. Give it to us.
In the UK, there was this festival called the USC Festival, right? And it was this ultimate streetcar festival, right? And it was all cars and meatheads and that anyway, right? And girls. There was all these girls on the stage and that, the fuel girls, and they were cool to us backstage. We got along with them well, but you know, on the stage they're just like, you know. And
What were they like? Do that again.
yeah,
You like that?
Yeah, I like that one.
He's into it.
But yeah, so yeah. Anyway, me and my crew back then, we got booked for this show, but we were like a hip hop crew, you know, like. We did have some dancey tunes in that, but it wasn't like it is now. Like I could, if I got booked for a dancey thing now, I'd put all my dance tunes together and be like, "This is gonna be all right."
Yeah.
Back then, we were going out there with like, "I got a little something for ya" on the dance floor, like just real hip hoppy shit.
Yeah.
So all these girls were on stage. This fucking it's nighttime. They're like, "Now it's time for multi-finish." That was our crew.
Yeah.
Multi-finish. We came out. We're there. I got a little something for ya on the dance floor, and everyone starts going, "Fuck off!" Right, I'm telling you, like we played a lot of crowds before. This crowd turned, bro, and then we quickly switched to just our DJ. We had her like play some just dancey tunes, and we just started MCing, and everyone started to vibe. The girls came out, and it was all good. But then there's this crew called Goldie Looking Chain, right? They're like this joke crew that we're going to be on next.
Yeah,
they started testing their mics and their equipment backstage while we were on stage, so the beats started dropping out and like their shit started coming over the top of the speakers.
You're kidding.
And we were young, you know. Like I was like fucking 19 or whatever. All this shit, and I couldn't just stand up there and be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
I was like standing around like a fucking melon.
Yeah.
Just like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And we just started getting booed. And then we stepped off the stage to booze, man. You know?
Oh wow.
And like, so we had like these pockets of like 10 minutes up there that was sick. Everyone was finally vibing with us. We were MCing, the girls were there. Everyone was onto it, and then it got fucked up again. And then, they all turned, and it sucked. Yeah,
That's horrible. I feel like that's the equivalent of like a comedian bombing on stage, essentially.
It is. But you know what? Once that's happened, you fear nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
True.
Trial by fire.
Yeah, that's it. Plus now, well, not now, but back then I used to turn up and I'd have like a couple of different versions of the set ready on discs. We'd have discs back then, you know, you'd burn off the sets. And I'd have one that's like real heavy, one that's like real hip hop.
Maybe more dancey.
Yeah.
So you can change it on the fly?
Yeah,
just in
so
case?
if we turn up and we're like, "Oh shit, this ain't the vibe," like use this one, you know what I mean? And we'd switch it up or
I guess that's one of the main things of having so much in your arsenal in terms of like different vibey songs. You know what I mean? Like if you're just a one-trick pony, you know, you can only go to certain events. You know what I mean? But I guess if you have more up your sleeve, you can kind of adapt.
Do a bit of that, yeah.
Because you never really know unless you're very familiar with the crowd that goes, and if you've played there before, how can you really know the vibe? Or
I mean, to be honest, most of the time, I feel like you do know the vibe. You know what you're going into.
Okay.
You know, like if I was coming to your
Synergy,
thing, like for example,
it's a bit more dancey.
I'd probably bring all the real big heavy tunes and just get up there and be like, "Bruh."
Well, I
Let me see your bass face.
I fucking hope so.
I
Because
wouldn't be out there like, "I've met a lot of people at Synergy, but there's not a lot of people at Synergy."
I like the fucking hope so, because like I said, I don't want to fucking hear your lullabies at fucking Synergy, right? The vibe, but see again. But what does all that lead back to? Self fucking awareness. Man, you got a lot of you motherfuckers aren't self-aware. How important is that for you? Especially when you were a kid, right? Because like you said, you started it and you knew that you're like, okay, fuck, some of this shit ain't that good, but your homies are going, bro, fuck yeah, these are fucking gassing you up and shit. So
it wasn't even homies. You know what? I think that's what made it cool, because it was like some of these chicks in my class that would normally mug me off. They'd be like, "Is that you?"
Okay.
And I'd be like,
that's
And I'd be like, "Oh, you're pretty good." And I'm like, "You're pretty good. Maybe I should do some more of this."
Right, so how important is self-awareness, but not just with your performance in the music, but when it comes to kind of networking too? Because when you are networking, you're trying to get shows and shit, you got to talk to promoters, and a lot of them are fucking mugs. They're fuckwits, man. And I've said this 100 times. I've preached that I've had issues with promoters and shit in the past doing shit. This is all obviously pre-COVID, right? COVID fucked us all, right? So how are you got to be self-aware. So how do you kind of see that when that guy does hit you up, "Man, I want you to perform here. I'm going to offer X amount, this amount," and then you're kind of thinking, "Nah, I don't know, but I just want to perform. I love it." you don't care about the money. So how important is being self-aware, not just for making music, but when you're networking, when you're meeting people. So sometimes you're going to sit there and go, fuck, this guy's a cock. Like,
yeah, I mean, if someone's a cock, then right off the bat, I'll be sort of politely busy. But like, I think sometimes I also just give them a chance as well. I'm just like, you know what? What's one fucking show? Like, if I go there and the vibe is cool, but the promoter's a bit of a cock, like I can put up with it. You know, but if I go there and it's dead and the promoter's a dickhead, like I'm not gonna go back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out Troy. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. In terms of UK, Australia, where kind of pops off more live scene, not so much.
Yeah, I mean,
music.
definitely here now because I've done my best shows here.
Yeah,
compared to you know,
Yeah,
the
'cause
UK.
it's not
we were
really-
still coming up in
Yeah,
the UK.
yeah.
Like we did a few cool things and that, but we were still little fish. You know what I mean? Like still learning, still.
You'd get so much love, I reckon, if you went back there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't think?
Nah, because England's grumpy, man. Like, and everyone's and plus, I don't know. Like,
I always thought
England's
they'd pop
grumpy.
over there.
England's
nah, it's
grumpy
cool.
is crazy. That's
it's
funny
cool.
as.
It's cool, but it's like everyone's like me, so.
Okay.
There's nothing special
Yeah,
about
okay.
me going
Yep.
up there.
I get what you're
It's
saying.
just like I'll be one of 17 grime MCs at some night.
Yeah,
and like,
okay.
It's got to be like who's the baddest.
Okay.
Instead of, you know, me coming up on stage here and being like my jovial self, and they're like, oh yeah, who's this fucking Tommy dude?
It's
You know
a
what I
point
mean?
of difference.
Yeah.
In the UK, so you into football, soccer?
Nah,
You're
not
not?
at all, nah.
Not at all?
Really?
No.
Is that rare?
It is rare.
That has to be.
It is rare.
Yeah,
It's rare.
right.
Yeah.
So like, are
I'm
you?
not a sports fan. I mean,
Although to be fair, you look like every NRL fan ever.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So like, yeah, that's what. So did a lot of the time, like when you were in the UK, you had your group of friends. Would they be discussing soccer, and you'd be like,
nah, not my friends, obviously.
Okay.
My whole crew was like, they were all like-minded, like myself.
Yeah, true.
But, you know, most people, you meet them, they're like, you know, who do you support, mate? I don't know.
Who's winning?
Yeah.
So you guys are the misfits, obviously, right? The misfits who
I
like
guess
making
so.
music.
I guess so. There was a lot of us, though. You know what I mean? It was quite a lot of. I had a lot of friends, and I mean, it's
like you
weird,
guys.
because it's like, I feel like if I was there now, and I was at the point that I'm at now, but out there, it would be mad. Because like Miss Pink, for example, right? Like she was like my best mate back there. We used to do everything together, you know. And now she's playing all these festivals and doing all this shit with Girls Next Door, and it's mad. Like I love it. She's been the most driven person I've ever met. Like it's cool, but when I came here, I had to start again from the bottom.
Exactly, yeah.
And then work my way up, make new friends. I don't have any people that I've grown up with out here. No one, none of that. You know, I don't have. If I was to do a synergy night of my own, I'd be like begging people that I've known for the last 5 years, please come and make this not shit. You know, you know. What I mean? Whereas you can be like, I'm gonna get every motherfucker I've ever met in my life to have the best night of life.
Yeah.
You are crazy with these accents, bro. I love it. I love it, bro. It's like I think I've been around the world and I haven't moved for the last 2 hours, but I feel like I've traveled.
You can tell you watch a lot of movies.
Yeah, 100%.
That's it. 'Cause I've been sitting here talking about myself for like an hour. I feel like I'm not.
That's what you're here.
That's what you're here,
You know what?
That's why you're here.
And just when I thought you're an arrogant prick. No, I'm joking. No, but I was actually thinking your vibe suits the shit we talk about as well. Because, like, you know, you got to kind of cater for certain guests, right? And certain guests you just know, like, okay, sweet. It's, you know, they're here. We're here for them. They do the interview. And then a lot of them don't, like, some of them don't really care for some of the topics. But I feel like your personality.
It's dangerous as well, though, right? When
Oh.
you do this, because like
We could sit here for fucking hours.
we could sit here and talk about something and feel one way about it, and it feels really passionate and strong, and it's a hot topic. A few months later, you might feel completely different, but this one little bit of what you said that day is there on the internet forever.
Oh, yeah.
Like I remember, me and Losty were doing a podcast for a few. I know I've just diverted.
That's all right, that's all right.
And Losty, we did a podcast for like 11, 12 episodes. We were talking about movies and just general stuff, and it was fun. But I remember we were talking about Eminem, and I had a couple of beers in that, and I was like, "Fuck Eminem, man! He ain't as good as he used to be." And I'm just like, you know what I mean? And but I'm a little bit fucking irie. I'm just like, yeah, you know, like he doesn't rap the way he used to. You know, he's just a grumpy old man in his house now. Like I was saying all this shit, but I don't really feel like that. I was just feeling real edgy
at that
day.
time. Yeah.
But then, like imagine you get to that point where like Eminem is like you're on his radar.
Yeah.
And then he's just like
fuck this
well,
guy.
dude, you know.
Fuck this fucking guy.
I've had that happen a couple times.
you.
We do a podcast and then I think I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that.
Bro, that's me and Iggy's life on this podcast.
Oh, bro.
We have to cut so much stuff out.
Welcome to the Reddit Corner.
Bow. So,
Where's the hat?
We're
Where's
in the
hat?
Reddit corner.
Big Red Cap is going to join us for a little bit of the Reddit corner before he has to duck and perform tonight, right? At Raw
Knox
Waves.
Bar.
Knox Bar as well, where we have performed before.
That's a cool venue,
That's
man.
a fucking stacked lineup too, man. I was looking at the fucking banner. I was like, God damn. God damn.
I was like, God
That
damn.
is fucking crazy. All right, so just quickly, all right, let's try fire off a couple. This week's topic was, which is interesting that Big Red Cap says this, because the topic was,
Yep.
let me read it exactly how I worded it. What conspiracy theories turned out to be true, or what conspiracy theories that actually make sense?
All of them. No.
Literally. every single fucking
You know,
one.
have you ever watched that guy? What's his name? Jesse Ventura. Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
It's just like the conspiracy
Yeah.
theories.
Yeah.
Oh my God! They said there's pigeons on the beach. Right? But
that
like,
was
do you
spot
know
on.
what? His show, right? It's like so cheesy, right? But then some of them are fucking batshit insane.
Yeah.
And then some of them are like so legit. that
Makes
you're
sense.
like,
Yeah.
dude.
Maybe the batshit
Yeah, man.
ones aren't so
I feel
batshit
like
crazy.
season 2 they did more batshit ones to try and counteract
Throw
the
it out,
realness of the original.
Exactly right. I've got a
You
cracker
got one?
one.
Kick it off.
I've got a cracker one for you. So I'll kick this one off. So remember all this bullshit we see on the internet with China's artificial sun that they were making and shit? So China's artificial sun was not created just to make energy, but its main purpose is to combat the effects of the nuclear apocalypse after, if there were to be a World War III. One of the effects is obviously lack of energy from the sun after World War III. So they reckon that these motherfuckers are making this fake energy sun heat
Holy shit.
to keep themselves
Alive so they can grow
alive
food
and
and shit
warm
still.
and shit like that.
Little did they know that Mr. Burns has got this big metal thing to block out the sun.
Yeah, and everyone comes going, nah, fucking look at China doing this, but these motherfuckers are preparing for the future. Like, fuck, if these cunts start shooting missiles, we need heat and shit.
That's crazy.
I never thought of it like that, because when I saw those posts, I was like, fuck China. Like,
But now you got to think, you know, like the Matrix, right? That whole thing they talk about like the machines, they scorched the earth,
Yeah.
they scorched the sky, so there was no sunlight anymore. And imagine that, you know what I mean? Because like even now, sometimes when you think about preparing for when the inevitable happens and the world goes mad, right? You think, oh, well, I've got a couple of solar things here, like they'll charge them up, and I can still, you know, use this fucking little cooker thing that I've got, you know, whatever it might be. And if there's no sun, then that shit ain't gonna work. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? What are you gonna do? Sing to it?
how they gonna fucking grow their fucking crops and shit?
Fake
Right.
one. I got one.
Hit us.
Biggest reason Gaddafi was killed was because he wanted to start and include other African nations in a banking system based on gold.
Yes.
You
So
heard this?
he wasn't he trying to make an African currency?
Yeah,
Or-
so he was the president of Libya,
Yeah.
right, Gaddafi, and the US and everything, and they all got involved and he got killed by militias and shit. But the main reason they say they wanted to get rid of him was because he was trying to unite Africa and bring in a universal African currency to.
I mean, that's the kind of conspiracy that doesn't sound far fetched at all,
No,
though, is it?
sounds
You know?
scary, you know.
Yeah.
But like, because the the American dollar's a standard, right? So he was trying to make it backed by gold,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
trying to unite Africa all together. If Africa's all united together, that's a fucking
Gold is-
that's a powerful
gold
force,
is big
man.
business too. Like your money can go up and down everywhere, but like people are like, buy a block of gold, like just buy that and just keep it tucked
Yeah.
away. Because
Exactly right. And man, I'll tell you, this sounds fucking crazy. And this is no word of a lie. I used to work with a bloke, bro. I promise you, promise you, this cunt, at the time, because I was young, right? I was only like 20 years old at the time, right? And this cunt used to tell me, man, he goes, man, you got any fucking like metal stored? I was like in a warehouse, like powder coat, like painting and shit, painting fences and shit. He's like, man, you got any metal? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, cunt? I'd be fucking coming off a bender, so I'm cooked as fuck too. So I'm like, what the fuck's this cunt talking about? It's like, bro, do you have like copper and shit? I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, bro, you need to store copper and aluminium and shit like that. And this motherfucker would go out and collect from job sites, rubbish sites, any metal. So copper, fucking aluminium, all that shit. And he was fucking storing this shit in his fucking shed. And now that I'm almost fucking 30 years old, I'm like, fuck this motherfucker, man. I was onto something right now. And this motherfucker's probably like 50 now. So he's just sitting in a pile of fucking aluminium foil, like, fuck yeah. Like, you know what I mean? This guy used to scare the fuck out of me, bro, when I was younger.
I mean, I definitely think there's probably some truth to that to some degree. You know what I mean? Like, I think in general, they're trying to make some global
shit, right?
Like, right? You know? And I mean, this is a hot take that is based on not much, but just a general, because I can't go too deep into it. You know, like Putin and that, right? Yeah, he's pretty hardcore, like he is. But at the same time, he also wanted nothing to do with the world banking system. And then he was pretty vocal about it. He's like, no, we will keep our country separate from everybody else. You know, and the next thing you know, his country is fucking public enemy number one. Fuck them, cut them out of everything. Like, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a good dude, but I'm just saying like you can't just believe the main narrative and just not have a little look around and just put a few dots. No, don't try and force the dots, because you can force the dots for anything. But
be open-minded.
You can just look at fucking history and see the same fucking tactics. Used all the time.
Perfect example with that you just gave, the media and the main stories now that Putin's isolated because of this war in Ukraine. No country wants to deal with him. And then he just had the BRICS summit. He had China, India, fucking they're all there, fucking like nothing, you know, like he's still powerful, bro. And they still, but the news here will tell you everyone hates Putin.
Yeah.
And, you know,
well done. Keep promoting that nonsense.
You know,
do another protest. It'll help.
Yeah, like it's all just fucking agendas and shit, man. And every country's in it for themselves.
It's funny, man. It's like the Bilderbergers, not to completely switch up, but you know, like in America, they have the Bilderberg group. You know about them?
No,
so,
what the fuck?
So basically, it's like, you know, fucking Bill Gates and fucking Obama and fucking, you know, Rupert Murdoch. They'll all go and have like a meeting every year. The people that run all the main shit, they go and have them in the open as well. They don't talk about it, but you can. It's reported. It's not like they hide it. They're like, yeah, we're going to go and have this meeting. And we're going to decide everything. You know, like, and they do. They go in there and they're just like, we're going to spin this, we're going to spin that. This is how we're going to run the world. And really...
Was that Obama?
I don't know. It was like
George Bush. It was like Bill Clinton.
I feel like I don't know who that was. It was a combination.
It's an American. It's an American president. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
That's it.
It was one of them,
Biden,
mate.
it would just be...
and who are all those people you mentioned voting for? Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Tell you something.
Kind of weird though how Eminem come out and
That was a weird
Well,
one.
he's
man.
always hated Trump, though.
He's just so anti-Trump now. I think he just went the other way with it. Yeah.
But that shocked me because this is the same motherfucker who's got an album talking about raping people and
Bro,
shit.
I commented on one of the videos, all the people saying, yeah, Eminem. And I was like, bro, that crowd will be cancelling him if they heard Stay Wide Awake or fucking Same Song and
they
Dance.
try it though like a million times, but they love him too much.
But that's Kamala Harris's crowd. All those people at that rally, literally watching him in person. Like, they're the number one fucking, yes, transgender, everyone's, yes, blah. If they heard that shit, I guarantee you they probably haven't. If they heard that shit, they'd fucking lose their mind.
Someone
But at
plays
least
Stay
he's
Wide
up
Awake.
there. At least he's up there supporting Kamala. Right now, we'll let
It doesn't
pass.
matter, Like, it doesn't matter as long as you're following their narrative.
Bet they're all still listening to Chris Brown on the weekend.
I will never switch up on M. I'm a diehard fan till this
Me
day.
too.
I don't care. Like I said,
Music's music.
Here on the FireCast, we don't judge your fucking political views or whatever. You can be a fucking transgender fucking meerkat with blue hair and a fucking bone for your nose. We don't give a fuck, man. We're still gonna fuck with you if you're cool. But it's just very weird. I was just kind of like scrolling. I seen Eminem up there. I was like, bro, I'll just keep scrolling. I won't watch this video.
Okay, that's enough internet for today.
And I had Eminem playing as well. I was like, ooh, okay, keep going.
Another example of that, right? I seen a video where, like, obviously these democratic values on the left wing, it's like all inclusive. Everyone's beautiful. Everyone's beautiful. It doesn't matter what you look like. You're all beautiful. And then I saw a post. They're all cheering it. They're like, this is who supports Trump, and it had the worst pictures of like Elon Musk and like everyone who's and Kid Rock and everyone who supports Trump with the ugliest photos. And then it
was
said,
unbelievable.
It said,
Ask anybody, that was the worst post ever.
and then it had the next slide was Kamala Harris takes donations in looks, and it had all the beautiful girls, celebrities who support. And then I'm thinking, like, isn't the whole your values like everyone's beautiful, and then now you're bashing what they look like.
But you know what? That's the whole thing anyway. The whole left and right thing anyway is just bullshit.
Separation.
It should be about being a good person, but everyone, like, I follow Michael Keaton, for example, right? And he's on there and he's like, listen, guys, like, he literally like 2 days ago was just like, all you people that are voting for Trump, he doesn't respect you. He's like, he laughs at you. You know, one time he said, I could shoot one of my followers in the face in the street and they'd still vote for me. He's like, that's not someone who respects for you. They laugh at you. And that's what he's saying in this video. And I'm just thinking,
What the fuck?
The other chick does the same thing.
Yeah,
They all do the same thing. They're all scummy politicians.
Yes.
If one thing everyone can agree on in this world is that you can't trust politicians.
Exactly.
Don't be
Fucking oath.
divided so
Yeah.
hard on this shit, man.
Yes.
Like, you know, there's right and there's wrong. Like, Trump is a dickhead too. I think he is.
Yeah.
But some of his values, I understand why the rednecks or the hard workers, because he's up there saying, he's like, let's make America great again. He's saying, like, let's bring things back to our country. Let's
Yeah.
not go to China. Let's give everybody jobs.
Yes.
Let's build things in our own country.
That didn't
And-
sound like him.
No, sorry.
Let's build things in our own country, okay? It's unbelievable how much goes to China, honestly. Have you been to China? Oh my God. It's dirty.
China.
They probably rape people out there. Honestly.
No, but that,
So I needed that, bro. Because I can't have you. You've done it now. You're the accent guy now.
That's hilarious.
But that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
so he's saying the right things, and I think some of his values are in the right place when it comes to that. He's like, he's trying to make his own country great again. He's like, I'm not saying fuck the rest of the world, but I'm saying let's not just sell ourselves.
Exactly.
You know?
That's
Yeah.
the way I see it, and like the way I wish people would see it more. A lot of these people who are in support of Kamala Harris and on that side, it's all about personality. It's all about the things he says and the things he does. I think he says the dumbest shit, and if he just spoke a little better, more people would like him.
Yeah.
But it's not about that in terms of running a country. Who cares if he says stupid shit? He ran a good country. The world was at peace.
at the same
Everyone,
time,
like,
but he also does fucked up shit. Like he will like knock down a school to put a fucking golf course there. He'll do that shit. On the side. So he's like, he does that shit too. Like I'm saying, he's not. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like he does that shit too. And then the other side, like I get the all inclusive and da. You know, like someone like Lizzo. Like yeah, if she wants to be big and be out there and feel beautiful, good. I hope she feels good about herself. I love that. Be like that. But don't tell everyone that they're not allowed to notice that you're fat.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
tell everyone that it's healthy and that it's fine, because
Yes.
it's not. Like
Fucking
that's not where it is. Right? So they both
That's
have
it.
good values, but I just feel like they're both extreme to the point where no one agrees.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the point.
Yeah.
It's all divide and conquer,
Yeah,
man. It's
that's
all
it.
divide and
Don't
conquer.
you think most people, though, I might be wrong, but most people are a bit left, bit right, or in the middle? Like, or do you reckon the majority in America,
No,
especially, is it hard left,
Yeah,
hard
It's
right?
hard left, hard right.
Yes,
Yeah.
and not just that, the media also doesn't help because, bro, I don't care what anyone says, bro. Good always beats evil, and 90% of us on the planet are like this, where we can see both sides of the
Yeah.
coin, and we're just happy to have a yarn and a laugh. But the media and social media and the news make it look like it's boom, boom.
But it's even harder now too,
Like,
because
we can't.
let's say you're on social media, right, and you like one post where it's positive Trump, right? You like one or two, or you watch them. Your whole feed,
then
the
boom.
algorithms, like you love Trump. Here's all the
Positive
reasons
Trump.
why he's great. Here's all the reasons why
Yeah.
this one's shit. And then you do it the other way, the same thing happens, and then so it creates this massive divide between all the people, and they don't even realize that they're only being showed what they want to hear. The echo, lovely chatting to you, boys. Thank you
Fucking
very much.
Oh, it's been a blast, brother.
Thank you so
So
much.
100%,
Thank
bro.
you,
so
sir.
much.
Big
Thank
Red
you
Cap,
so
bro.
much.
Now,
Thank
what?
you.
Yeah, so you're not big on the socials? People can't catch you on
No,
socials?
they
or
can. They
anything?
can.
Yeah.
Big Red Cap. My album Nemesis is out now. Go and listen to that. And go to these boys' show tomorrow. I guess it'll already have happened by the time this is out
Yeah.
there, but whatever.
All
But-
links to Big Red Cap stuff's going to be in the fucking descriptions to all these episodes. And
Stream
guys,
is shit, bro.
Pre-save
Stream
our
is shit.
song. Pre-save our song is coming out Friday by the time you're listening to this.
will you see Big Red Cap at a synergy?
Probably.
Bro, I hope
The
one day. I hope one
probability
day, bro.
is very, very high.
It's very high, yeah. It's very
Mate,
high.
honestly, boys, cheers. Thank you
I
so
can't
much,
wait to
bro.
see you. I can't wait to see you perform live, lad.
Bro,
Legit.
Salute.
Thank you so much, bro.
Salute.
And you're going to kill it
Salute.
tonight, bro. We return.
We're back.
So once again, as always, thank you, Big Red Cap, for fucking jumping on, man.
Legend.
Guys, I've got all these socials and stuff in the descriptions, man.
Stream
That
is shit, bro. He's a talented
yeah,
rapper,
he's a
man.
very good rapper, man. We fuck with him hard here. There's no doubt you're going to see more of Trip Jacker Mafia working with Big Red Cap. That shit was fucking dope. And not to mention that this motherfucker's grinding because he come all the way 40 minutes out of the way to come on the podcast to go back
Via Uber.
via Uber to perform. And I don't know many Australians, because I will tell you right now, I'm not getting an Uber from here 40 minutes away because they charge you a fucking arm and a leg. So he's a fucking sick cunt, man. Check his shit out, bro. No doubt you're going to see more of Big Red Cap here at Trip Jacker Mafia Records. So we will then continue on from where we were.
So we left off by talking about
Yes.
we were discussing how the internet and the media, they sway your judgment. Propaganda, right? So this one isn't really a conspiracy. I think once upon a time it was. I feel like it's kind of a known fact. But, this segment today is about believable conspiracies, right? So there are a shit ton of fake bot troll accounts on social media stirring the pot to keep us fighting each other.
Yeah.
Since it sounds like a lot of people feel the same, I would remind you to check profiles on social media and all that. And then someone was saying as well that this has been proven for years. Back after Trump was elected, some dude ran the data he had collected for an entire year, and it was all done by a ring of like 500 accounts and linked to those accounts, and accounts linked to them. So it's like everyone is kind of like trying to just get us to just go against each other. You know what I mean? Because you're always going to have people with one agenda or the other, like we were saying before. But I don't know if that's really a conspiracy because I believe it to be true, but it is a believable one.
I think that falls into the category of conspiracies that turned out to be true.
Yeah, bro, it's not even a conspiracy, bro. The Romans used to do it. Literally divide and conquer. They'd literally go into...
But with messenger pigeons.
They literally used to go into the Germanic tribes, which is at the time Germania. They used to go into Germany when they were trying to take over. So the only reason the Roman Empire fell was because Germany, right? Of course, fucking Germany, as always. These motherfuckers are putting up a crazy fight. So all the German tribes, right, were their own separate tribes, but they were doing so much damage to the Romans. So the Romans knew, they're like, fuck, if these motherfuckers get together... Just like Africa, if these motherfuckers unite, we're fucked. So Germany would go in there and offer them separate tribes, separate deals to work with the Romans rather to keep them divided, rather than the Germans all going together and going, you know what, bro, fuck these guys. If we just had 100 tribes come together, we fucking pump these motherfuckers. So the Romans are going in and offering this tribe, hey man, like, if you keep them at bay off our borders, we'll give you gold and all these weapons and all the Roman women and shit like that. And that's what people were doing, bro. So there was literally, you can watch docos and shit on it, where there was literally like certain German tribes were Romans. They fully converted to like Italy and shit, and they were full talking like Romans. They got taught how to speak in that language. They were wearing the armor and shit like that. But then there'd be other tribes that would fully refuse. They're like, nah, man, we're not, fuck these cunts. But when you've got 100 tribes all divided, you can't really do anything because everyone's out for their own agenda. It's been a fucking thing since the beginning of human time. It's been a thing.
It's like on the bots when Elon Musk bought Twitter, I think he said like something like 80% of accounts were fucking fake accounts.
Yeah,
and they do that. They literally go in the comments. It's all like based in Russia, like these fucking bot farms. And they're just profile pictures, no profile picture, just random numbers for the name. And they're just hundreds, and they try to sway the opinion of people. Yeah. And I was listening to a podcast of some Roman expert of the Roman times, and he was saying that, like, slavery and shit back then wasn't based on anything. Like, it wasn't based on race or shit like that. It was literally like a business thing. So there would be a dude who was a laborer, right? He would be working, like, cutting bricks or whatever for a wage, and his slave would be like a doctor or a teacher. Like the slaves were professional workers. They were skilled. So then, because I forget the reasoning, but the guy doing the fucking hard labor and shit was the owner of the slave, and they'd often send the slave to go do like the professional work and shit because there was a good reason for it, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
So there was like slaves that actually had. It wasn't like they had no money and they had no abilities or no skills. They were kind of depended on for more skilled workers.
Fuck, I wish I could remember the reason. There was a good reason. I don't know, but there was some. It's all monetary. It's all for money. Like it was a business thing having slaves. So it wasn't because you're black or because you're this. Like it wasn't like that back then. You were either a slave or not because of you can be freed as well if you buy. A lot of them would buy their way to freedom, shit like that. So it had nothing to do with race or anything like that. Anyone could be a slave and anyone could be freed. The Romans is so interesting, man. Like
they paved our world.
Everything. Well,
they paved our world.
Did you know? Parliament is all based on Roman.
Mate,
shit.
did you know the Romans? Right, the reasons the roads are the width they are is because the Romans, when they made their carriages, they were like, "Holy fuck, we need to make this wide enough to fit this fucking carriage wheel." So they gave it the extra couple of like whatever meter or so for the leeway. and they built paths that were just bigger enough for their carriages. I'm telling you, bro. Like, bro, the Romans, it's so fascinating. Like that, there's literally Roman. It's called Roman like concrete. And no one to this day
they don't know how to do
can
it.
figure out what they put in it, what they mix with the concrete. It's what's fucking holding up the Colosseum and shit.
It's probably all the coagulated, dried up semen that they were that they were catching in their asses. After
Whatever
battle.
the fuck they were putting in their shit, it's fucking still standing today. 500 years later,
they had 5 guys just ejaculate into one guy's asshole, and then they'd spin him around
into
like
the
a
bucket.
concrete truck.
Yeah.
You know, like a concrete
an
truck.
Aggie, yeah.
And then they'd just hold him over the road.
Is that not fascinating?
Yeah.
Like now you got these motherfuckers from fucking Muhammad's fucking concrete fucking business. These motherfuckers put up a shit and fucking 4 years later the bricks are all fucking cracking away and shit. You're bringing these motherfuckers on answering and shit, man. Like it's fucking crazy.
He's like,
bro.
it's out of warranty. I can't.
Yeah. Like
He's not answering.
it's insane, bro. So I got another one for you, right? So apparently Ronaldo was forced to play the World Cup final. For those who don't know, I'll explain simply. In 1998 World Cup, Ronaldo was definitely by far the best player, the star of the tournament. When the lineups were released, he was not starting, not even on the bench. Right, so this is for one of the World Cup final games. And then what gets crazy is that the Brazilian team didn't even come out to warm up before the game. The World Cup became the X-Files, but the BBC had Hill and Ginola, not Mulder and Scully. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know if there's like a fucking news outlet or something. But before the light could be shed on the situation, there was another twist. Another set of lineups had been released and Ronaldo was starting. Ronaldo played but wouldn't have known because of the entire Brazil team were rubbish. So obviously some people are releasing that he's playing, some people are saying that he's not. There was conspiracy theories everywhere, but the truth was far weirder, more shocking than in any fiction. Roberto Carlos woke up the afternoon and found Ronaldo having a seizure. Now, this must be, I don't know, like the day of the game or before or whatever. This guy didn't really type it that well. So someone in the Brazilian team finds Ronaldo having a seizure. It's brought to the question on why did he play? Okay, so he's ended up playing after the news are all saying that he's not playing. And the conspiracy is that believed that Nike forced him to be played or he would have been dropped from his endorsements, right? But then in saying that, I don't see, he didn't type this well at all. So why was he having a seizure? I don't know if he's like fucking sick, they've drugged him or whatever. But it's just the long story short is that Nike forced Ronaldo to play when he probably was unfit to fucking play. This motherfucker's fucked because at the time Ronaldo was sponsored by fucking Nike. This is 1998.
Wow.
Yeah. So they force it. So again, it's just big companies, they want a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
You're the pie.
Yeah.
And at the time, you don't realize you're the pie because the offer is so good.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, fucking 20 mil, fuck yeah. You don't realize in the long term that the company makes fucking 100 mil off you and they work you like a fucking dog.
Yeah.
So conspiracy, I don't know. Apparently, a lot of people believe that's exactly what happened. That Nike fucked this guy like into oblivion.
I got one more. The 10-year challenge on Facebook in 2019, which encouraged Facebook users to upload pictures from 2009 and a current one from 2019, was actually a front by programmers to gain data and examples to train facial recognition and age progression software.
Ah, that's a good one.
So, you know, like them challenges where people put photos of themselves aging and
yeah.
shit? It was actually just to train the fucking AI
How to recognize
facial recognition and shit.
The only way AI can shit and technology can work is it needs to refer to old information.
Old shit, yeah.
It's not a sentient being.
Fuck.
It doesn't have imagination. The computer needs to sit there. When I click it, the computer needs to go, oh, he's clicked the button. What happened last time he clicked the button? Oh, it opened Google Chrome. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I've been my cover's been blown. I've used a lot of those. I've used a lot of those. Like, oh yeah, what's my face look like?
So you're like the cover picture of the app.
Yeah.
Make yourself look like you're 70 years old. Like, The Sonic the Hedgehog movie made a crappy Sonic on purpose in the trailer of their movie so that it would go viral for free advertising.
I believe it.
They then fixed it and got all the credit for it because, I mean, come on, who the hell would have even made Sonic look like that in the first place?
I reckon he never
That's a
looked
good
like,
one.
bro, he never looked like that. Do you know what this is about?
No, I know Sonic, but I don't know
So
the movie.
the Sonic movie, this was huge news, man. So,
This is fucking good,
so
man.
right.
Did they make it look like PS1 vibes?
Oh,
Like-
right.
Hideous. Right?
It looked like something off Cat on the Hat. Like,
So,
yeah, like the pointy
so when the
nose and
first
shit.
when the original trailer for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie came out, he looked like this.
Oh my
He
god!
had human hands, human teeth, and
Show
it
me.
blew up. It
Yeah, that's
blew up,
hilarious.
right? And everyone, and then they
Hasn't he always had human-like hands, or is it?
Yeah, he wears
Or is it
gloves.
paws?
He
Oh,
wears,
he wears
gloves.
gloves.
And then they delayed the movie because of the outcry, right? The outburst. They delayed the movie and shit, so a couple months. And then they fixed it, whatever, and they were pretending like it's a big rush. I believe from the start, I'm like, I feel like they did because they delayed it, right? They
Yeah.
changed the whole movie.
because of
And
that,
then there's the other characters in there too. Like eventually, like Tails has a cameo at the end of the movie, and then the second one now has Knuckles and Shadow and all that shit. But like, I can't picture them looking that in that ugly style either. You know what I mean? I feel like they were always, the normal versions. It's just weird. Like, yeah, I believe that 100%.
That's genius. That's
They
genius.
work. They work like a
Any
charm.
publicity is good publicity at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Those movies are so successful now. They're massive movies. The Sonic
Yeah.
movies. People love them.
It's fucking very it's
Genius.
smart.
That was genius, man.
I've got one more, right? And then we'll move on to news. Because if you guys don't know by now, we've got a big day tomorrow.
Big fucking.
It's
day.
late too. I got to bounce.
Fucking Synergy, baby. Sold out. All right. So one more to end us off here. This one's about the makeup companies. What if makeup companies purposely make their makeup harmful to the skin so that they ensure that their target audience remains self-conscious and just keeps buying products to try to cover up their bad skin? But all the makeup is doing is leaving the skin more damaged. Not only is it sad if it were true, it's downright evil.
I used to think that about acne products. When I was in school, I had a little bit of acne, right? And I'd use these fucking acne products, and it'd get fucking worse. I'm like, acne would get worse. It was all fucking.
Right, I got the short end of the stick when it come to my skin, and I'll never forget this one time. It was what was the company called?
Did you use Roaccutane?
No, it was like one of the biggest bad skin companies at the time that apparently everyone was using, and it fixed your skin in a week. I'll never forget it, bro. My mother, shout out to my mother, bought it for me at the time. This is back in like 2017, 18. It cost like $90, right? So back then that was like, fuck,
lot.
that's expensive, right? Right now, $90 gets you nothing.
Yeah.
That's a Macca's feed, right?
Yeah.
So back then, my mum buys it for me. I'm like, all right, fuck yeah. I'm in high school and shit, right? I remember I fucking put this shit on, bro. The next day I woke up and I dead set looked like a fucking red testicle. I woke up and my skin was like, I was so red, I dead set looked like a red stoplight. And I
So
went,
funny.
and my mum went, holy fuck. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, this made everything worse. Worse, not better. And then my skin, it was worse. And then that was it. It was worse.
Yeah.
And we just spent $90 at the time in 2018. That's like worth $150 now. We were fucking spewing. I was like, oh my God, this is fucked. And then I had to go to school for the rest of the week with my skin worse than what it was. I was like, bro, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, acne's tough, man.
Yeah.
Kids got it tough with that shit.
Yeah, I feel like the makeup products can get away with that way easier than the anti-acne products. Because if you're putting on anti-acne products and then you're getting more acne, you're not going to use it again. Whereas if you're using the makeup and that's what's causing it, you're not going to know that that's the culprit. And you're going to be like, no, but it's my savior.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
really it's fucking doing the worst.
I kind of believe it, man.
I had copped on this Roaccutane stuff in school because I had pretty bad acne in school. And it's the hard stuff. Like, it's the tablet forms. You have to go for blood tests every 6 weeks.
Oh,
You
shit.
can lose your
Because-
hair and shit.
Yeah,
can't
you can
Like,
lose your
stop
hair.
side
It,
effects.
it can make you depressed, but it didn't make me depressed. But it dries out your lips and stuff and your skin. So when you laugh sometimes, it split my lips. So I just get a bloody lip. Like, all randomly, I'll be like, oh, yeah. And it splits my lip. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
right.
what the fuck? But I used that once, like one round. I don't know how long it was. and I barely get acne. Touch wood, I barely get acne now. When I get it,
Oh,
it's
so it
one
actually
here and
works.
there. Yeah, I never went back to having acne. But that, like I said, was the hard stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
proper
yeah.
doctor prescribed
Yeah.
Roaccutane.
But that's an age thing too, though. You wouldn't get acne now anyway, really.
Oh yeah, true.
I had my acne wasn't that bad, but it was, uncomfortable, right? But like now I'm old, I fucking never get acne.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I feel like it's an age thing. I think it's because of your hormones. Like you're going through puberty and shit.
Yeah,
Your hormones
yeah.
are all fucked up. Like
Yeah.
some people do when you're an adult. You still get acne, but it's
Yeah.
not as bad.
And news you can trust. The news you can trust. Only believe what we say.
Now, it's been a big week. I have a lot of news. I don't think I'm going to share all my points anyway. I'll just share a couple of them because a lot of shit has happened, man.
It's good, man.
Little stories, big
It's
stories.
a good time to be a podcaster, man.
Let me see what I got here.
Good time to be a podcaster and spend $30 at Temu for some equipment.
I think I'll start with something short. Oh, fuck. I got some good ones here, man. Fucking hell. All right. All right. This one's a good one. All right. So, this American chick was videoed herself tearing down Greek flags. You see this?
I've seen
Because
that.
she sent
Thought it
to
was
me.
the
Palestine.
Yeah, because he thought it was Israel's flag. And oh my god.
Did you see the video?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's
awkward.
crazy, bro. And like this is what social media activism does. It's these people who have no idea what they're
Talking
championing
about.
for.
Yeah.
All these people couldn't even point to Palestine or fucking Lebanon on a map, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
It's
then
insane.
they see their friends doing it at school and everyone, yeah, so you're supporting this cause. You got no idea what the fuck it is. The Greek flag and the Israel flag aren't even remotely similar. They have the same color.
Same color, yeah. And the moment which I love in that video is the moment where the girl at the restaurant's like watching this girl that works there, watching this girl that's tearing down the flags, and she's like, we're Greek. That's the Greek flag. She's like, what? She's like, that's not Israeli, that's Greek. And she's like, oh, fuck, for real? And then she's like, oh, like, what the fuck? It's like, you have no idea, like, what you are even, like, saying.
Yeah.
You're just doing it because you think that's what people want you to say.
So
And,
embarrassing, man.
She posted it herself, and all the comments are like, "Why did you post this? Like, this is so embarrassing."
It's
like,
embarrassing.
Oh, my
unless that's
God.
like some publicity stunt.
Oh, it
where
worked.
They're trying to go viral. Where like she's probably friends with the restaurant owner's daughter. Like
It looked pretty real, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know though. It's social media.
Yeah, you never know.
Maybe she made the video and then she wasn't going to post it. But then she thought, nowadays, if you post a video that's not in your face, like paints you in a bad light, it still gets clicks.
Yeah.
So she probably thought, fuck it.
I don't think it's worth it for that video, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, these fucking pea brains, man. Jesus
And
Christ.
Greece couldn't be further from the most harmless country out of all the countries, right?
Bro, Greece, if anything, we should all take a fucking page out of Greece's book. Those motherfuckers were in that much debt and they were just like, we're not paying. They literally just ignored everyone so we just left them alone. We're like, we're not going to get tick off these cunts. Like, Greece is that friend that you know you just don't lend them money. They're a good mate, but you'd never give them $100 because you're not going to get it back. Like, it's like fucking good on them, bro. Like, I got one. Did you guys see Trump working at the
McDonald's, yeah.
No.
McDonald's, yeah. He did a shift to McDonald's.
What I don't get about all this, so we did touch a bit on Trump when BigRedCap was here, but what I don't understand now is why are they getting Obama involved with the? Is it because
The campaign?
Is it because Kamala's getting pumped so bad that they've had to bring in?
Well,
what's going
they
on?
always do this. They always do this. They have Megan Thee Stallion twerking on stage. Obama's a Democrat, so it's like
Wait, Megan Thee Stallion was twerking on stage?
yeah. A couple months ago, maybe like a month and a
For
half
what?
ago, for Kamala Harris at
For
a rally.
twerking for
yeah, like she was on
Kamala?
the fucking
What
who
the
did a performance. They're getting these celebrities to perform, and like Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala. I'm just thinking these people. Who cares what these people think? If you're gonna choose a political person because based on what a celebrity thinks, like you're an idiot.
Yeah.
But yeah, Trump's doing a great job with the publicity of the campaigning, man. He did because Kamala Harris said she worked at McDonald's.
Yeah,
And
that's
Trump's-
why he's doing
and
it.
Trump's always said she never worked at McDonald's. She never worked at McDonald's. So he went and did like a couple minutes at Macca's. He was serving the drive-through. I was surprised when
Do
they
you know
pulled
how
up
funny
with-
it'd be when you're like, can I get a number 7 or whatever they want over there? And it's Trump.
Are you sure?
That's cooked, man.
That's fucking awesome. But he's making me like him more and more.
Yeah, I know. It's work. He's doing a good
He's
job.
doing
man.
good.
He's doing
Like
a good job.
if he loses again, like
No, I
surely
don't
he
think-
can't
unless it's
lose.
rigged. I don't think he's going to lose. He's ahead in the polls now too.
He can't lose, right?
We'll see though.
Police have raided a pizza store in the German city of Dusseldorf, discovering that it wasn't the tomato sauce that made their pizza so popular. According to investigators, if you ordered the number 40, a pizza wasn't all you got. It came with a side of cocaine. The pizzeria was moonlighting as a drugstore, and its best-selling pizza caught the attention of police. When the police raided the manager's house, he allegedly threw a bag full of drugs out the window, which unfortunately for him fell into the hands of waiting officers outside.
Was it the Cookie Monster?
The bag contained just over 1.5 kilograms of cocaine, 400 grams of cannabis, and almost 270,000 euros, which is equivalent to 433,000 AUD.
Wow.
The manager was initially released and allowed to resume his operation at the pizzeria, provided that the police could then trace the drug supply chain. But after he attempted to flee the country, he was rearrested and he's now in police custody.
Oh my!
So they
gave him a chance.
They gave him a chance to be a rat, and he
he's
went,
like, nah.
nah. So, bro, imagine that you're getting the number 40, and it's like, what comes first? Surely, if
The
you're
pizza or the rack?
yeah. So you definitely have to start with the pizza, right? A few drinks, and then you're like dessert.
Yeah.
And then after, but like, what a combo! What a weird combo!
Pizza and rack.
Like, I mean, it's kind of smart until it wasn't.
Is that literal or is that like jokey, quirky from the news site saying that? Like, did they literally bring out a plate of rack and the pizza, or is it just saying like, you know,
Probably like in the,
Oh
the
no,
pizza
no, no!
box or something.
They
like-
reckon that from what I've seen here, it was just in a satty, but
Yeah,
it was
but
like
in the pizza box,
in
like,
the
yeah.
pizza box.
Yeah.
But you could just be a normal customer and get a pizza without rack, or is it
No, so
part of the store?
Apparently, or
They'd be asking for specifically a combo
Yeah.
40. Like,
I don't know.
everyone would know.
I think
like,
it was like the
Yeah.
regulars that knew the
Yeah,
go.
okay,
Like,
okay,
if you weren't involved with rack,
Yeah.
you just order the supreme,
And you get
But
a
if
Supreme.
Some guys
Exactly.
like, I'll have the number 40,
yeah,
please.
secret
You know?
Exactly,
code, secret
yeah.
code.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fucking pretty clever, man.
Yeah, right. Until it wasn't.
Yeah,
But-
well,
smart. I just love how they gave him the chance to rap. And he's like, fuck. That's when you know you're deep in it, when you get given a chance and you go, nah.
yeah, because you know the guys up
They're
there
going
will
to kill
just,
you. Yeah. You're like, fuck this shit.
So, customers at the Shenzhen Aquarium in China demand a refund after they find out the whale shark is a robot. So, the park was closed for maintenance for a while, and they did this big promotion that it's coming back or whatever. And we got a whale shark. Come see our whale shark. And all these customers went, and then they were disappointed when they saw it was a robot. Literally a robotic whale shark. Like, you can see the robot. And the aquarium said, China does this a lot. They
Yeah, they
painted
do.
those
The pandas.
dogs.
The pandas.
And they're like, we never said it wasn't meant to be real. It's robotic. It's like, because you can't trade whale sharks. It's illegal.
But technically, they're not doing anything wrong. Like, yeah.
It still looks kind of cool,
Yeah.
but like,
Until you see the tail go. Zzz.
yeah, I just thought it was fucking crazy that the Chinese keep trying to get away with this, bro. They painted the Chow Chow dogs as fucking pandas. That is crazy, bro.
I would love to. One day, mark my words, when I've got money, when we're rich, we're going to do a skit at Trip TV where we're going to go to Taronga Zoo. It's like what Hamish and Andy did. We'll all dress up as gorillas. And we'll just get the gorillas out for the day and we go in there and just do fucking funny shit. And everyone's like, what the fuck are these gorillas doing? Like, we're like fucking playing the xylophone and shit.
Yeah.
The best part about the dogs too is people got suspicious when they started barking. The pandas are barking, and they tried saying it's like a special breed of panda. They're fucking,
Oh my god! These pandas cocking its leg to piss. What's the go? What's the go?
fucking dope.
All right. Let me have a little look here. Yeah, we've already gone for 2 hours, man.
It's a late one, man.
Yeah, I reckon I'm gonna save my last point till
I got more.
next week.
I'll save them.
Because next week's going to be a whopper as well when
Exactly.
we talk about the show.
And the election would have. I think the election's fucking.
Is the election during Synergy?
It's
The
November
election,
5th.
we can unpack synergy. You know, there's a lot
Right.
to.
Oh no! So next week the election still hasn't happened. So
Okay.
I was gonna say, imagine while we're DJing, we just have the live election behind us. All right, guys, we're gonna cut
Wrap
it a
up there.
little bit short from the news corner there, but like I said, we had a fucking whopper of a guest on, man. It was fucking sick, man. Big Red Cap, we appreciate it. Follow all his stuff, guys. Tomorrow, Synergy, we are sold out. My phone today, I promise you, I'm not trying to say this to act like a sick cunt. This has not stopped fucking ringing, and it fucking pissing me off because of people trying to get into this shit tomorrow. Did I not say
you're
You said
doubted. You're doubted.
Joey K, what have
Yeah.
I been saying for
So
the past?
Iggy once said, if we rewind the tape, you'll see on a few episodes, right? Iggy has
God.
said that people with these shows, I don't know whether it's a lack of faith or it's laziness or maybe both, right?
both, it's
because
both.
people think that we're not going to sell out these shows. We are 2-0.
2-0. The streak is on.
We have two live shows up our belt now, and we've sold out both, right? Every show, I promise you, every show we do, we will sell out. Give us the tickets to sell, and we'll sell them. Right now, these venues aren't giving us enough tickets. We always are selling more, right? But then you need to get your foot in the door first, because you're not gonna. There's no Iggy doesn't own these venues, bro.
Yeah.
He cannot go, hey, I need 20 more tickets.
Yeah.
To be there, you need to show up early, get tickets.
And then just sit on them.
Sit on them, yeah.
Just get it out the way.
If you pay for shit well in advance, by the time the show comes, you feel like it's free because you paid for it so long ago.
Exactly.
But most of these people, they go, this is my one ick. Not ick. One of my many things that I like to complain about in life. When people go, I don't have $20, or I don't have $40, or I don't have 50. They say something like, because these tickets, they're not expensive tickets, right? And some people go to me, I don't have $50. It's like, you have $50, but you're going to spend it on KFC later.
Exactly.
So it's like, you need to just get your priorities right. If you want a good night, man, a unique night, Synergy is that fucking night. I'm telling you, bro.
Yes. So it's already happened by the time you listen to this. Tell us how it was. A lot of people missing out. It's unfortunate. We'll do a lot more. BigRedCap will probably be on there one day. We'll have all these guys on there one day. It's going to be huge. Verse is going to be there tomorrow. By Steven's headlining. I'm opening. Joey's opening with hip hop. We got EDM. We got Trip Sive, Rich Bradley. We got fucking Friendly Fire, Moby. Everybody's going to pop off. All right. We even got fucking the Safe Boys up there. M16 doing a house set.
Yes, sir.
We got this fucking painted thing that the girls painted.
We have some lights. We have smoke machines. We have
beach
posters,
balls.
beach balls,
We got
inflatable
everything. We got a
toucans.
party bus taking us there and back.
The smoke machine is me with a vape.
Yeah.
So, you're going to pre-save my song with BigRedCap is coming out on Friday. Hope you came to the show. Hope you listened to the songs, stream the music, all that shit. We love you. Check out Friendly Fire's new album, Something Beyond. It's fucking dope. You'll see it at Synergy. You'll see our album, Ghosts at Synergy too.
Yes, sir.
Salut. See you in the next one.
Let's go.